Okay, welcome back to kittlegotgame. We are going to play Kerbal Space Program Part 1. And we have no mods installed that I remember. Maybe I should have had a couple mods on here. I don't know. Like, I like the one that tells me what biome I'm flying over and stuff, and there's a couple basic things, but as of right now, got no mods installed. I don't even remember how to install mods on this game. Haven't played it much in the last several years. Loaded up a brand new save here. Normal difficulty of career mode. The only option I've changed is by default in normal mode, you can have limited control on your spacecraft when you're out of comms range. I didn't put that on. I turned that off. So we lose control if we're out of the comms range. So, makes it a little more difficult than normal, I guess, but just seems way more realistic. Like, if you don't have communication link to your probe, you shouldn't be able to control it. Yeah, okay. Just makes sense to me. Alright. How we doing, Kyle? Alright, thanks, I've got it. Nice to meet you, Gene Kerman. Okay, let's go ahead and first thing we want to do is, I think, check mission control and get some contracts to help us make money and science and reputation. We have money. We have, I think the stars is reputation, and then this is science. Yeah, at the top. Okay. Which you can't see because Marmello's name keeps scrolling by, but that's okay. You can figure it out. First thing is gather scientific data from Kerbin. It's easy. Launch our first vessel. Okay, let's take that. Now it gave us a little money. Instead of 25 grand, we got 28 grand now. Let's head to the vehicle assembly building and build a ship. How we doing, Alex? Oh, there's Werner von Kerman. Alright, cool. I'm just going to try to remember how to play. I got a cheat sheet of key bindings I printed out from the internet to help me remember what keys do what if I need to, but we'll see if we can do it without. We need a... Well, that's how you do that. We need a command pod. And should we actually launch it, or do we just do we do like a real space program would do? Right? We got our command pod, and I think we're just going to test it. Right? This is like what a real space program would do. Right? You'd have your command pod, and before you even do anything, do we have any other science other than goo? Oh, we got liquid goo. Let's put a liquid goo on there. So we don't know what's going on. This is our spacecraft. That's it. That's it. Right there. No engines, no nothing. Let's just test our capsule. Let's launch it. I don't even remember. Did I put anybody in it? I think it puts Jeb in there by default. Don't hit the space bar when Jeb's in space. Well, Jeb's in there right now. We're on the launch pad. We don't even know what we're doing. We have a brand new space program. There's our Space Force. I uploaded the Space Force flag again. So what do we do here? Well, we're going to ask Jeb how he's doing. Let's take a crew report. We get 1.5 science for that. Cool. He's on the launch pad. And while we're here, let's test our goo. Doesn't seem to be doing much. Alright. Keep experiment. And, I don't even think I can EVA. Oh, I can EVA. I didn't know if I could EVA. I guess you can't maybe EVA in space yet. I can't take surface samples yet. Let's do an EVA report. Hey, we're on the launch pad. Don't think a spacesuit was necessary. Okay. And then B to board. And that's our mission right there. Recover vessel. Didn't really cost us much there. Actually, we got a lot of money. We got 45,000 now. We gathered 8 science. Well, we have 8 science. 6.9 earned from the experiments. But then I think we get funds from recovered parts. No XP gain. We might get a little bit of science for finishing a mission as well. I don't know exactly how that works. Yeah, I think so. We got 8 science total. 8.9 total. Oh, here it tells me the rest of the information there. Okay. Cool. Done. Well, hey, that was a... Alright, Kyle, we're done with Kerbal Space Program. Let's go play some Fortnite, right? No. Let's go on. We completed our mission. We still haven't launched our first vessel. But I guess mission 2 would be to escape the atmosphere. I think we're going to go for that, right? I don't know if we'll get it on the first flight. Probably not. And then orbit is our next one. We can only do 2 things at once. Let's go back to the hangar. We got our crew capsule here. Let's actually go ahead and click on this and click on symmetry mode, and we'll put 2 of these on there. No, I don't want to put that there. Let's put 2 of those on there, right? Is that where I want them? No, I want them more centered. I think there's a way I can do snap points to where they snap a little better, but that's going to be fine right there. And then, to get home safely, we want a parachute. And to go up, we need engine. Right now, we only have 1 engine unlocked. So that's what we're going to use. Let's just see where this takes us. Cool? Does this have any control on it? I don't know if you can control this. Engine can't be... Oh, it's a solid rocket booster, so you can't control it. So we're just going to be going up, and whatever reaction wheels and control surfaces we have inside the pod is what we got. So, I say we YOLO it, right? Launch. And just to make sure Jeb is in here, Jeb is going to be our pilot. Launch. You're having a storm move through now? Oh, no, Alex. We'll be careful with that, for sure. Alright, let's YOLO it, right? And just, okay, how do I remember to do this? Throttle up. I guess you don't really need throttle up. I'll put SAS mode on. It helps me with stability assisting. Let's just look at our flight. Throttle. It's Z and X. Z is full throttle, X is no throttle. Okay? And then increase, decrease. Shift is increase. Okay, so Z is full throttle. Let's just launch it. Send it! We'll turn it a little bit towards the ocean. Oh, okay. We messed up. And we already launched our parachute. This is bad. We didn't stage our parachute. We had our staging totally wrong. So it launched our parachute immediately when we... So Jeb probably just died with G-forces there. But we're coming home. We're coming home. I mean, we got some missions done here. World's first milestones. It's... We broke our speed record of 2580 and then an altitude record of 500. Okay. And we got some contracts done. Okay. We launched our first vessel. We're coming home. Mistakes were made. See, I thought it would be better instead of like practicing and remembering how to play this game to just go for it. We'll increase our time warp to the maximum there. To get back, and hopefully this doesn't just blow up. It shouldn't blow up. It's not going that fast. But because Kerbal's buggy, when we get close to the ground, we'll slow back down. There's our flag. Oh, we didn't go very far, did we? Oh, we're going to land right on that now? Okay. We're home. Oh, you know what? We didn't use our goo while we were flying. Dang it. We forgot to use our goo. However, we will do a crew report right here. It still counts as being the launch pad. It's not going to do anything. So, and then our goo will even do anything here. It's still on the launch pad. We get a tiny bit of science for recovering it. Let's just go ahead and recover. We blew it. We didn't even do our science or crew report while we were in the air. But we got a little bit of science. We're up to 19 science now. And we got 1 XP. Jeb got some XP for going in the flight. Wow, that was a little bit sketch, wasn't it? We got 1 active contract. What else do we got here? Orbit, we're not ready to do that. Test the decoupler in flight. Test at the launch site. These are super easy to do. And it gives us a little bit of money. We could do those if we just want to make a little bit of money. But let's not mess around with that just yet. Let's not mess around with that just yet. We got to get into the we got to escape the atmosphere. So now that we got a little bit of science, let's go to our R&D and unlock something. Basic rocketry. We get better solid rocket fuel booster, and we get actual fuel tank and engine. That's huge. That's a game changer right there. Engineering, a decoupler would be nice. A thermometer is better science, and antenna. That's all good stuff. And we can't afford the other stuff anyway. So bam, right there. We just made a whole new space program there. All right. Let's try to be a little more careful on our next flight here. Let's go ahead and scrap the whole thing. Okay. Start with a command pod. We're gonna go fuel tanks. Do I decouple them? Should we go through? Should we do it the right way? Yeah. We don't need a heat shield. We're not going orbital. Famous last words, right? I don't even think I have a heat shield. No, I don't even have a heat shield anyway. I don't know how many tanks we're gonna do. Let's just go. How many tanks should we do? 4? 4 sounds good. How far is that going to take us? I don't know. Let's do 4 tanks, and then we'll do an engine. We'll check our thrust-weight ratio. Right? Check some numbers here. Oh, yeah, we got a 3.7. Oh, this is going to go... We can put a lot more tanks on. I think we can put a lot more tanks on. But first, let's put our parachute on. Okay. And what we're going to do is we got science to do. Let's put at least 2 thermometers on. Because we don't have a scientist to, like, reset the thing, so I think... And I don't want to transmit. I think we're just going to recover our readings. So we can do 2 different temperature readings. And you know what? These are pretty cheap. Do we do a 3rd? Or a 4th? You know what? I think I want 4. I can do 1 at the launch pad, 1 flying, and 1 wherever we land, and then maybe 1 somewhere else. Let's do 4, and then... Let's put 1 here, 1 here, and then do this. Alright, that's going to be good. Then we can do 2 goo readings. Okay. Stage the chute? Yeah, we probably should have that different than decoupling. Right? So chutes last, decouple, engine first, then decouple, then chute. That sounds better. Any other parts we want to use? An EVA jetpack? I don't know what that... That wasn't in the game when I originally played. I really don't need communication with the Space Center, because we got Jeb flying. That's mostly for unmanned stuff. Should we put some basic fins on there? Just to help? Should we do a trio of fins, just for fun? And maybe to help stability? Shit, I don't know, right? I don't know. Bob Pop says water? Hell yeah, what's up, Bob Pop? You guys ready to send it? I think that's it. Should I put more fuel tanks on? Should we do another? Maybe another? Make it 6 total? How's my thrust-weight ratio now? Thrust, 2.85. It's still huge. What about my part limit? I can do up to 30 parts. I say do a couple more then. No, not like that. Should we go 8? That's still a huge thrust-to-weight ratio. It's gonna be flying. I don't know. I don't want to make it too crazy. Let's go. Looks like a North Korea rocket. Let's go for it. Launch it. Can you paint it a different color? Let's try. Escape. Revert flight. Revert back to vehicle assembly. You can go into here, and you can right-click on the pod and change it to an all-white pod, or I guess white and that, or just that. I'm going to keep it that. On the fuel, they only give you a few options each. On the fuel tanks, I can go striped, all white, or gray and orange it's called, but it's just gray really. I'm just going to stick with the basic one for now, but you can change a few things. On the engine, you can change to have a shroud on there, a truss mount, or to have it bare. So there's a couple options for the different parts. There's no options for the wings. Yeah, so there's some options. And of course, we have our U.S. Space Force MMXI XIX 2019 flag. And it's in the background too. I didn't really upload a very high resolution version of it. I think that's part of just Kerbal Space Program. You can't really upload super high resolution. For flags, that is. Launch it. Let's launch it. There was tons and tons of mods, Alex. Tons and tons of mods to where you can have like unlimited parts, and there's ones I could just download the whole Artemis spaceship and stuff. At some point in the game, we'll rank up enough to where we'll unlock probably enough parts to basically recreate the whole Artemis and make it look kind of like it does. Because basically, you can make the space shuttle almost, and the Artemis just uses a bunch of recycled space shuttle parts. There are DLCs as well, where you get all the Apollo and Saturn V rocket parts and things like that. I don't have any of the DLCs. It's just totally stock, basic Kerbal. But, alright, we're on the launch pad. Here we go. I say first, we take a temperature reading, because we haven't done that with the launch pad. Okay. So we got one of these done. One of our things is used. I'm going to go ahead and full throttle, stability assist, and... Oh, Kittle can't do planes? I can try, but I don't have the parts unlocked yet. We're going to have to wait on that. Should we just launch it? Should we just launch it? Let's do it. I'm actually going to throttle down a little. Because the thrust weight ratio. I'm going to just tilt a little bit. We don't have enough to go orbital. I think I have enough delta V, which is our fuel basically, to maybe escape the atmosphere. But we don't have enough to go orbital, so we're going to go pretty much straight up. Now while we're flying, I'm going to observe goo. Okay, keep experiment, and I'm going to do one more temperature reading. Log temperature. And I'm going to do a crew report. Flying over Kerbal shores. Okay. Docking mode, toggle map, maneuver mode, no, toggle map. Oh, jeez. No, we're flying, man. We're flying. Oh yeah, we're going out of the atmosphere for sure. We're definitely going out of the atmosphere. We're burning up, man. Oh, we're going up to 243 kilometers. We had some heat warnings there too. Outer space is at 70,000 meters. We're going up to 243, and we are out of gas. So I think what we're going to do is, now that we're in space, I'll do another temperature reading. Space near Kerbin. And then we'll do a goo reading. Now I got one more temperature, one more thermometer ready to go. One more thermometer, and I'll wait until we're landed, I guess, to do that. Didn't add a heat shield? We don't need it. We're not going orbital. We're not going orbital. We don't need a heat shield. Well, I don't think we need a heat shield. We're not going fast enough. You need a heat shield to slow you down. If you go straight up and then straight down, that's not fast enough. Okay, here. Let's look at this. This is our path. We're going straight up and then straight down. We'll go fast, and we're going to need the atmosphere to slow us down a little bit. But it's not going to generate... Oh, let's knock on wood. I don't think it's going to generate enough heat to burn us up without a heat shield. Now, when we go orbital, remember, we're like this path here. We're going around super fast. And we're coming in super fast at like a real thin angle. And we go through a ton of atmosphere to slow us down. And right now, we're going 1,000 meters per second, okay? when we come back down, I don't know how fast we're going to be going. When we're coming in from orbit, we're going like 2,500, 3,000 meters per second. Super fast, lots of friction. I don't even have heat shields unlocked. Hopefully Jeb don't die. All right, we're going up, up, up. Whoa, shouldn't have done 100 times speed. But now we're way up there. Down there's Kerbal Space Center. Let's go ahead and right at the top is 243. I say we decouple. Do I not have control? Hold on, where's my... Let's go ahead and do the decoupler, right? Why not? That's just going to fall right back as well with us. But hopefully by the time we land, we separate enough to where that doesn't hit us or anything. We're now starting to go back down. Our altitude is dropping. We hit max. And we're going home. We're going home. Now what I should do is point the retrograde like this. So when I do go in, the ass end of my craft is pointed towards the atmosphere to slow me down. Let's see my milestones. Altitude record, altitude land distance record, all these records we just broke. First to reach space, we achieved the goal of escaping the atmosphere, we escaped the atmosphere, we got all this stuff done, tons of money. Now can we get home alive? This is right here's our speed across the surface. This here's our orbital speed. The difference in that accounts for the rotation of the planet. So our planet's spinning at, I don't know, 150, 200 meters per second. So orbit speed accounts for that. So this is our speed coming in. Now we're coming in faster and faster. Let's speed it up a little bit. Get closer, get closer. Okay. Now we're going 1,200 meters per second. That's actually pretty fast. I hope we don't burn up. I hope we don't. Did we use both goos? We used both goos. We got one more thermometer that still we able to use. We'll use that once we get in. I don't know. We're going to be coming in pretty fast. What up, Brandon? How you doing? 20,000 miles per hour? I don't know. It's 1,400 meters per second. How fast is that? I don't think that's 20,000. Okay, we're going to be hitting the atmosphere at 70K. We're at 80K right now. Look at Jeb's happy. He's happy so far. This might be too fast. We went way too high. Okay, we're going through the atmosphere. We're still speeding up. We are not slowing down at all. We're not slowing down at all. This is really bad. Oh boy, this is really bad. This is really bad. We're burning up. We're burning up. We're burning up. We're going to blow up. Well, our goo's going to blow up. No, boy. Oh, that was our thermometers blowing up. Okay, our thermometers blew up. Okay. Our thermometers didn't make it. Our goo almost blew up, and our craft almost blew up. We're now slow enough. We can launch our parachute. Let's do it. Oh, my gosh. That got a little iffy. That got a little iffy. So we lost all the science from our temperature readings. And the problem with that is we went up way too high. So we falling, you know, we fell a lot further. What goes up must come down. It's gravity. And it gave us way too much speed. Ideally, we should have only went up to about 75, 80,000 meters. And then came straight back down. We would not have had that issue. Yeah, we probably wouldn't have had that issue. Probably not. Okay, we're still going 100 meters a second. Our parachute should deploy. Fully deploy. Slow us down to a nice, gentle landing. What's our next milestone? Splashed into the ocean? Well, we have splashed in the ocean. That was my, the rest of my craft probably splashed into the ocean. We haven't yet, but we're gonna very shortly. Your Jeb is orbiting the moon? Are you able to get him home, or is he stuck? Because I've had that happen before where like I ran out of fuel and stuff and I got him stuck and I had to go do a rescue mission. Alright, we're coming in. We are almost... There's our shadow, so we can see the ground. Or the water. And we home! And we home. If I want to get a tiny bit more science, I could do an EVA report right now. EVA, and do an EVA report from the ocean. Got me 3.2 more science. Board the craft, and get the heck out of here. We lost all of that science data from our thermometers, so that's bad. But we made it home. Alright, we got a little bit of money from our recovery. Jeb. Did I not recover the crew? Did that not count him as being back in there? Hold on. I don't understand that. Hold on. It didn't give me, like, all my data from the craft. Let me see. Did it just recover Jeb and not the whole craft? I should have gotten some... No, it's still got our craft out here. That was a glitch. Either I didn't board the craft and give it enough time, but we got our craft here still splashed down, so we want to recover that. Yeah. There. Now we get the science from the craft. Okay, that was weird. That was, it said grab? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I clicked the wrong button, but usually it recovers everything. So there we go. We get our science, recovery of the vessel, our mystery goo observations, and our crew report. And we get a bunch of money back from recovering our command pod. Great, 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 great. And these are different contracts we could work on. There's an island airfield. All right. And now we got 258 grand. We could start upgrading buildings, but first, let's check our contracts. Do we have what it takes to get into orbit? At least the Raptors one? Yeah, Alfred, at least the Raptors one. I didn't see any of the hockey game, though, but sounds like a bummer. Sounds like they didn't do all they could at the end there, from what you said. So there's a bunch of testing things in flight. The easiest thing to do is test at the launch site. And if we want to make a little bit of extra money in science right now, we can do both of these contracts probably at once. Test the hammer booster at the launch site. Let's try this. Test at the launch site. You just need to activate the part through staging. Okay. Check mark. Test the flea booster at the launch site. Activate through staging to test it. Done. Now, you wouldn't want to have two different boosters on your craft, but what we're going to do is we're going to make just a test vessel. Let's get rid of this guy. There's our command pod. And what we're going to do... Zoom in a little. We got two different things to test. The RT-10 hammer and the RT-10 flea. I'm going to put one on top. Can I put it upside down? It doesn't even matter. We're going to put the big one on top, little one on bottom. How about that? Now we should do it the other way. Now normally that would just burn through your command pod, right? Normally that would be a ridiculous design. But what we're going to do is we're going to take all the fuel out of it. No fuel. No fuel. And hope this works. And no fuel. And no fuel. We're going to add another stage. So we have them two separate stages. So we can stage them to test them. Okay, let's go to the launch pad. How do you find the heat shield? Well, you got to unlock it first. Let me just run this test and I'll show you all that, because I got to unlock it as well. Okay, we got to test both of these pieces. Okay, we've returned to the surface. Yeah, okay. So all we do is let's throttle up. There's no fuel in here, so when I stage, nothing should happen. But we just got our contract complete for testing that. Now if we hit the button again, we should stage the other one. Up here. Contract complete. Done. Both contracts complete. Recover vessel. Done. You found it? Okay, Brandon. There's a couple ways, but let's find it too. All right, so we just made a bunch of money, and we got a little bit of science there. Just for getting those done. First thing, you got to find it in research and development, and it's probably here under survivability, and right there's 2 different heat shields. Without even looking at other stuff, I almost died last mission. We need to research that and get heat shields. I probably need the next level of... We got 45 science to spend. We probably just need both of these. This is 20. General rocketry, we get a better engine, and solid rocket boosters, and a bigger fuel tank. Probably need that. Do I need stability? Probably wouldn't hurt. We got enough science to do it. We don't have enough science to do anything else. I say we get it. Great. Now we got level 1, 2, and 3 of the tech tree complete. Beating the game is basically unlocking everything. That's what most people consider beating the game. So we're well on the way. We're well on the way. So now when you're in the vehicle assembly building, the find parts, if you go over here, the heat shield is usually the one right here with the fire. Thermal. You got your heat shields and radiators under there. There's also a search button, search bar all the way at the top, where you can just type in heat and everything. There's a hot thermometer, radiator panels, a service bay, and both your heat shields. Okay. Let's go ahead and scrap that ridiculous testing craft. Okay, but let's go out of here. Katy Perry style mission? We just did that mission, but we didn't have a heat shield, so we almost died. And all our thermometers blew up. Alright. Woo! That was, yeah, he's happy he got home. At least the Raptors won. Heat shield. Senators had the mayor and Tom Green there. Jeez. You knew GTA wasn't going to happen. 6-7 weeks, maybe? No, 6-7 months for that, yeah. We'll see. Did Jeb kiss the ground? Well, he was in the ocean first. He probably kissed the deck of the aircraft carrier when he landed. Alright, let's try to go orbital. We gotta go into orbit. Check mark. Now, I don't like doing these missions here, like test the heat shield in flight over Kerbin. Seems real easy. But to get this contract done, you gotta test it. You gotta hit the run test button while you're between 32,000 and 42,000 meters, and going super fast, 1870 meters a second or 2280. It's really hard to go that fast in that little area without undershooting, overshooting, overspeed, underspeed. These are very, very difficult to do. I don't like even attempting them. I don't even like attempting it. And then these temperature surveys record the temperature over this specific area at 16 over. Yeah, if you make a plane, they're a little easier, but I don't like doing those at all. So I'm not going to do them. The testing at the launch pad's super easy. How do you detach your rocket? You got to have a decoupler. You got to put a decoupler. I'm going to build a craft right now. I'll show you how to do it. We go into the vehicle assembly building. We're going to try to build something that goes orbital. It's going to be very difficult because right now we haven't upgraded anything. Maybe I should upgrade. We're limited to 30 parts total. 30 parts on our craft. There we go. So so what you want to do, Brandon, is you build your ship backwards. So what's the last thing you want? You want your parachute. And you want your pod. That's what's coming home. And then you probably want a heat shield. All right? There you go. That's what I want coming home. That's what I want coming home. Then, what do you want to happen next? Well, you want there to be fuel tank and some engine. So let's put a fuel tank. And, well, first, no, we don't want that. We wanted the coupler first. Then a fuel tank. Then an engine. This one is a little bit lighter. I guess we want the Reliant. We don't need the swivel. this one's probably going to be like if we're up in space and to get us home. That's the plan. Okay, so that's our second stage, we'll call it, okay? Then we want another decoupler. Another decoupler. Then we want more fuel tanks. I don't know how many. Let's just go... How many parts is this now? We're already up to 11. Let's just go 5 fuel tanks, and then we're going to put another engine. Where's the engines? Engines. And then here we'll put the swivel. We'll check our thrust to weight ratio. It's 1.5. It's still going to go up in the air. So then you got to look at your staging. So if we send this up right now, it's not enough to get us into orbit. It's not quite enough to get us into orbit. But what we have here is we have our first stage, then we decouple. You got to read the staging backwards. We have our first stage, decouple, second stage lights up, then you decouple, and then when you get back, your parachute. So that's how you kind of do it. So every time you hit the spacebar, the first time it's going to light this engine, the second time I hit spacebar, it decouples, the third time I hit the spacebar, it lights the other engine, the fourth time I hit the spacebar, it's going to decouple again, and then the last time I hit the spacebar, the parachute comes out. The spacebar is decoupling. Be careful. Be careful doing that. And when you're on the launch pad, if you hit the spacebar, it won't do anything unless your throttle's up. You got to make sure the throttle's up too. So that's not enough. That's a total of 2,300 meters per second. I can't remember what you need to get into space. I think you need closer to 3,000. So what we're going to do next... A little more dangerous. Do I just put the... Do I just send it? Do I just send it? Let's put some decouplers on the side. Right? Hold on. Let's go here. And then turn this 90 degrees. We'll go in the radial. And right here, let's put a couple decouplers. Like that. And then we'll grab our big thumper boosters. And attach those right about there. That's not on the decouplers. I gotta do that a little smarter. Now it's on the decouplers. Okay. And how do I do this? How do I do this? I gotta make those go a little bit lower. Whoops. How do I undo? I'm in the VAB. I'm looking at my undo, Control Z. Okay. I need to go here to this thing. Need to click on Tool Rotate, select a part, no, Tool Move, and make this go down. Okay, there we go, that's a little bit better. Okay, cool. So now how many parts are we up to? Oh, we can't build this rocket, it exceeds mass. We can only do a mass of 18 tons, we're at 26 tons, so we can't build this rocket. As is. Wait a minute, what do we got here? Oh, is that an extra piece? We're still at 26 tons, damn. Unless I upgrade... I think I gotta upgrade my launch pad. Let's actually go take a look. Do you want to save the current craft? Yes, save and continue. Launch pad. Maximum size right now is 18 tons. If we spend 50 grand to upgrade, we can go up to 140 tons. Let's do it. We just upgraded our launch pad. Now let's go back to the VAB. It wasn't pointy enough? We're not building a missile, we're building a rocket. Okay, so right now we're good with the weight. We're now limited by parts. We got 17 parts. This, we need to change our staging. We need to add another stage. And move our solid rocket boosters down here. So here's how this is going to work. Our solid rocket boosters go off. Then, do I want to put my engine on as well? I think I do. Yeah, and I can throttle down to save fuel if I want, if we're going too fast. But I want my engine on so I can steer. Because this is the swivel engine, so you can steer with it. Then we decouple our boosters. then we decouple that, then we light that, then we decouple that. Okay. I think what I'm going to want to do is get rid of this for a second and add a couple more tanks of gas. I think that's going to be enough to get us to orbit. Do I have any aerodynamics? Yes, I do. How many parts are we up to? 21 parts. Do struts count as parts? I don't even think I have stability struts, do I? Or is that structural? No, I don't even have, like, struts to lock this in. I think we're just going to have to go for it. So now, do I want to put some science on this baby? I don't think we want to put much. I think we'll put the temperature gauges on. I don't think we're going to play with the liquid goos just yet. We just want to get this bad boy into orbit. Let's go ahead and put 4 gauges on here. And I don't need an antenna. We're flying this. We're not sending it as a probe. Right there we got 25 parts. I could put some liquid goo on there. I think we're going to go without, though, for now. Do we? We could. Yeah, I just don't want to do it. It's going to make it a little more unstable. I want to just try getting into orbit. Should we name this one? Should we name it? Yeah, I think we should, huh? What do we want to name it? I don't even know. Should we just name it after Jeb? Jeb 1. How about that? And we'll save it. And, okay, so let's go through the staging again before we go. We're launching all our engines and boosters at the same time. Then we kick off the boosters. Then we kick off our bottom stage. Then we start our second stage. Then we kick off the second stage. And then we parachute home. Flight 67? The Dominator 3? Maybe tomorrow night Fallout? Oh, maybe. Maybe I could do that. Let's just go for it. Let's just go for it. Launch. Might be a little unstable on the launch pad. It's just standing on its engine. We don't have the launch mounts or anything. So what we want to do, you want to have SAS toggled on. It helps with stability. I didn't check my thrust-to-weight ratios, but these boosters are going to launch us fucking fast. So I'm not worried about that. Normally you'd check all that stuff. But we're just going to send it. We're just going to send it, right? I want to do throttle max. Actually, I'm going to do throttle... I'm going to control down about half throttle. Save on fuel, because these boosters are going to launch us. Okay? And now to get in the orbit, remember, we don't want to go straight up and down. We got to kind of go sideways around the planet. But we will go up for a little bit until we're cruising. All right. Ready to go? 3, 2, 1, launch. Now I'm going to throttle down. We don't need that speed. I'm going to start turning a little tiny bit to the east, because that's the direction our planet rotates. Little tiny bit. We didn't even use half the fuel in our boosters yet. I'm going to go throttle all the way down. Save that fuel, because we're going too fast anyway. Keep turning a little bit. Keep turning a little bit. Now I'm going to throttle up. Well, let's wait until we launch and we get rid of these solid rocket boosters. Stage, throttle up, and then turn a little bit. Don't want to turn too much, or we'll flip it. We don't want to flip it. All right, hold on. Let's cut this. Let's cut this. We're already going up to 90,000 meters. We didn't really do very good turn there. So let's coast. Let's try to save our fuel. Let's coast up a little bit. This is dumb. We shouldn't do that. We gotta go sideways. That's what we gotta do. We're up enough out of the atmosphere to where we can just turn sideways and try to get into orbit. That was a horrible launch, but we're gonna still try to recover it. We're still going up to 104,000 meters. We don't want to go too much further up. Remember, the further we go up, the faster we gotta get coming down. So right now we're kind of aiming right at the horizon, right at the right level to go sideways. We got to get our orbital speed up, because if we look at this, we got to make this go all the way around the... Oh, we're out of... yeah, hold on. Stage. Light the candle. There we go. Our goal is to get this to go all the way around the Earth. See how it's pushing out as we're going sideways? Let's cut it. Let's cut the gas for a second, because we're going too high. So what I'm going to do is wait for our craft to get over here and then start burning again to get that to go orbital. The Geminator 3 ready for a full-blown rocket ship mode. Alright, so we're not quite orbital. We're getting there. If I keep burning here, we're going to keep going higher here, and that wastes fuel. I think we got plenty of extra fuel, though. I think we could do it right now, but if we wait until we're up here, it'll be more efficient to burn there to get into orbit. And we are well in the space, so might as well just take a temperature reading up in space. Okay. We'll probably try to get a couple more on the way down. One in high atmosphere, one in low atmosphere, and one probably on the ground. Our apoapsis will be 124,000, so that we're at 110, 111 right now. So we'll know when we're at the top of our orbit here. Or suborbital path, I should say, right now. And our periapsis is negative 342. That means we're eventually crashing well back down into the Earth. We want our periapsis to be up above 70,000 kilometers. That's the low point of our orbit. Otherwise, that makes us in orbit if it gets over 70. Right now, we're suborbital and we're going back. We don't want that. So, let's go ahead and... We're at 120, that's close enough. Start burning again. Periapsis down to minus 200. Minus 100. And it is now up above. We're orbital. We raised our apoapsis up a ton, though, because we didn't wait until we were all the way up, and we kind of just did a bad job. So if we look here now, we're in orbit. It goes up higher over here and then lower down here. That's okay. We're orbital. Broken land distance record, and we have entered orbit. We've achieved the goal of orbiting Kerbin. We didn't tell the recovery team we'd be staying in space, so they're still looking. Great job. So we just got a bunch of money. Alright. Easy enough. You don't want to go, but you got to go to bed. Should I just end the stream now, Kyle? Keep them about an hour long each? Have a good night, Kyle. Alright. The game doesn't make us actually do a full orbit, but just for fun, let's go ahead and do it. Right? There's our high point of the orbit over here. Don't forget papers, please. I don't know if we're going to do papers, please. Can I recreate Apollo 13? I guess you could. I don't know if we want to do an Apollo 13. Apollo 13 was bad, okay? Okay, let's wait till we're on the light side of the planet, so you guys can see easier. Right about there. Okay. I say we go home. I say we come home. So how do you come home? Well, we got to slow down is what we got to do. And to slow down, we need to point our craft retrograde, which is opposite the direction we're traveling. That's this symbol on the nav ball. That one there. I want to point retrograde. Probably should be careful. How much battery do we got? Oh, we got plenty of battery. I don't have any way to generate charge. I think the engine does have an alternator in it. Yeah, so it does generate electric if we fire up our engine, so that's okay. But that is a concern when you're building some crafts. You got to either have solar panels or battery, or you run out of electricity, and then you're stuck. It was a successful disaster. Well, yeah, that's a way to look at it. All right, let's just do a little bit of burning. We got to get our periapsis back under 70,000 to come back into the atmosphere. And there it is. Our periapsis is now 20. So now if we go look at our map, we're still coasting around here, and we get into the atmosphere somewhere down here, but the atmosphere will slow us down, and we'll probably land over here near this crater. That'd be my guess. If we want to control that a little more, we can. And we do got fuel. We got fuel left, so maybe we should burn some more and slow us down some more. That'd be the smarter thing to do. Probably. Oh, hit the wrong button. Put max fuel. So now it's definitely showing us land, and we're going to land well short of that, probably over here in the ocean. It's okay. I say what we do now is we're going to turn this craft around prograde, now that we know we're coming in. And I'm going to decouple. I'm decoupling this way. Actually, let's decouple pointing like straight at the planet. So our engines go up higher into space and then up around us, hopefully. There we go. And now we're going to point our ship prograde and come into the atmosphere. And that'll still come into the atmosphere at some point and blow up. Hopefully it doesn't hit us or explode near us. Right? But they said in Apollo 13, we just put Isaac Newton in the driver's seat, Alfred. And we're coasting in now. We have no other way to slow us down or speed us up or turn us or anything. As soon as we get under 70,000, I'll do another temperature reading. This one we already did, right? Yep, so let's use that one. We'll keep ourselves pointed retrograde as much as possible. Puts most of the ass end of the craft in to the atmosphere. There's no atmosphere yet, not until we start hitting 70,000 or less. We can speed up a little bit. 10 times speed. Okay, we are in the atmosphere. Let's repoint ourselves. Take that temperature reading. On the upper atmosphere, keep experiment. The ones here on the top are the ones we'll do in lower atmosphere. So we'll just have that pinned up. We won't pin it, we'll just have that up. And we're still speeding up. We're in a super thin atmospheres right now. At some point we will start slowing down, and then we're going to generate a ton of heat and really slow down. In the recommendations next to this stream is the dentist's office body cam video. Oh, where she just wants her paperwork? Alfred, she just wanted her paperwork. Okay, we're finally starting to slow down just right now. And then we're going to slow down dramatically here. And hopefully we don't generate too much heat. And burn up our things. Temperatures. Thermometers. I could turn SAS off, and that automatically will... Aerodynamics itself will keep us pointed that way. Instead of Jeb holding on to try to keep the position. She was crazy. And didn't she, like, answer the phone one time and say, like, yes, daddy, or something? And I couldn't tell if she was just talking to her boyfriend that way or if she really was talking to her daddy that way. And then didn't her mom show up? She's like, that's my mom! That's my mom! And she's, like, screaming like crazy. And the mom didn't really want anything to do with her. Oh, I just heard our, oh, that's our, debris exploding over there. It's 17 kilometers away. We're going to go ahead and log the temperature again now in the flying over the water. Nice. Oh, I didn't do a crew report from space. That would have been smart, right? You know what? Let's just do a crew report from right here. We forgot to do a crew report. Give us a little bit of science. We'll have other opportunities to do crew reports from space, hopefully. Likely. Almost certainly. Okay. And last thing we got to do is hit the space bar to launch that parachute. We're still slowing down. This is still causing some resistance there. 9,000 meters above the surface. Debris raining down all over the Gulf of America. Yep. That was a couple of Elon ships. Let's just launch the parachute. Now this is automatically set by default. It deploys like that, but it doesn't fully expand. And you see this with the real parachutes as well. They won't fully expand until you're down to 1,000. You can change that in the settings, though, if you wanted to come down a little slower. There we go, full deployment. Which really doesn't slow us down. It opens at 1,000, but doesn't slow us down until we're at 350. That's scary. That's scary, but... And now we'll time warp to get closer, because it takes forever to land. But I will slow back down the normal speed before we actually hit the water, because I don't want the game breaking and time warping us right through the ocean and killing us. I believe we have one more thermometer to use. We'll log the temperature of the ocean. Right there. Keep experiment. We've already done an EVA report before in the ocean. Go ahead and recover. Don't know why Bezos and Musk don't work together. Because they're competitors. They're competing for contracts, and they have their own businesses, and their own board of directors, and their own shareholders to answer to. I mean, you're right, though. If we're looking at the advancement of humanity, we should all hug and work together and pool our resources. And the Russians and the Chinese and the, Europeans and the Americans and everybody should all build one big rocket, and we should all go to the moon. We should. But that's not the way we do it. And the other way you think about it, Alfred, is competition is very healthy. If we all work together, we'd end up with a big, expensive craft that hardly works and is all pieced together from 1,000 different contractors who all have special interests and buddies that got them the contracts because they're the only one in town, and you'd end up with something like what NASA does. If you have competition, you end up with much cheaper and much more efficient and much more rockets that you can change a lot easier, like Bezos and Musk have. And they're competing because because they're in competition. Yeah, it's a little riskier. You're gonna have more things blowing up. You got a little more, but they're not putting people on them yet. Well, not on the ones that are blowing up. They test them a lot, and I mean, even when Elon and SpaceX were testing the first one to land, that thing crashed all the time, and it couldn't even land. And it was a big deal when it first landed. Now they've landed like several hundred times. But competition, will end up with a better product at the end of the day. Science. It's science. What do we get there? 61 science. Okay. Or we got 61 total. We earned 37. Yeah, and the Chinese got their own rocket. Well, the Chinese rockets, I don't really count them because they just copied, you know, everything from the American rockets. They just steal. They steal all of our stuff. They don't respect intellectual property at all. All right, advancement to level 1. We're a level 1 pilot now because we went into orbit. That means we have more control, more piloting options. Like, well, we're probably able to hold prograde and retrograde instead of just stability. All right, now what do we do? Hype for Temu and Alibaba rockets. Well, let's go ahead to daytime so we can see what's going on here. Warp to daytime. That was a pretty good day 1 of our space program. We're still on day 1, year 1, day 1. Got into orbit on our first day. What a space program. World's first milestone. Return to the surface from orbit. A lot of money. We're up to 336 grand. 336 grand. Explore the Mun. That's the next big thing to do. Do we really want to go to the Mun already? I mean, I don't think we can. We definitely would have to upgrade. Well, we probably could. We probably could go to the Mun. Maybe just go on a flyby like Artemis did. Not sure about getting into orbit. And definitely can't land yet. And that's all it wants us to do, is do a flyby. It doesn't even want us to go into orbit. A flyby is good enough. Simply head to the Mun, pass it by, easy as pie. Easy as pie. Well, I think we go ahead and take the contract. We will do that at some point. Maybe we'll do it on our next flight. I don't know. The rest of this crap, focus surveys, hauling things into flight, all this stuff in flight, testing it in flight, not doing any of that. So we only got the 1 active contract. I think next thing we look at R&D and unlock some stuff if we can. Unlock some stuff if we can. We got 61 science. All these cost 45 each. We can unlock one of these. That one gives me a probe core, which is, like I said, unmanned probe to the moon, maybe. If we did that. That'd be actually pretty good. It also gives me a science junior unit. I can get more science. And a big antenna, which we would need to control this thing. I don't even know if we could control it all the way at the moon. This gives me wings. This teaches me how to build a plane. We're not doing that. This gives me struts, which are huge. And the launch stability. And this is big rockets. And little rockets. I think we do need this. Starshot. Why do we have this? Fireworks launchers. I don't even know why they have fireworks launchers in here. A plane would be fun. I don't know how to really build them. That's why it's fun, I guess. Now, I think we're going to go with advanced rocketry. That's the most important thing here. Although basic science is kind of good, too. Where is my... Did I already unlock it? Oh, I already unlocked the barometer. I haven't even used it. Oh, man. I didn't realize I already unlocked that. And we got radial parachutes and drogue chutes? I didn't even know I unlocked that. Okay. Let's go ahead and do advanced rocketry. That'll get me some big rockets to help me get to the moon easier. Okay. Do we upgrade the vehicle assembly building? We got 400 grand. This would take me 225,000, and it would get me up to 255 parts instead of 30 parts. I would much rather like to upgrade the tracking station, which lets my antennas work way better, and it lets me plot a course to the moon. That cost 150. This costs 225. That's 370. I can afford to get both, but then I barely have enough money to build a rocket. I could afford to get both. Let's just see first if I can actually build a rocket. with 30 parts? Can I build a rocket with 30 parts that gets me to the moon? Alright, let's see what we got. Again, we want to do that. We want a parachute, and we want a heat shield. That is mandatory. And then we want decoupler. Okay. That's key. Then we look at what we got here. We got giant fuel tank. And then engine. Probably use this little guy. Okay, that's probably pretty good there. And then that'd be like a third stage, I think. I think we're gonna make a 3-stage. Then a decoupler. And then maybe 2 more of those for a second stage. And then maybe the Reliant engine, because I don't know where we'll even be using that. A lot more power. Okay? And then it's gonna be a taller rocket, bro. And then we decouple again. Okay. And then let's add at least 3 more fuel tanks. Maybe 4. And then we'll add the swivel engine. So I can steer this. Okay, I think that alone is enough to get me into orbit. Does that have enough thrust to weight ratio? It does not. So that engine alone doesn't have enough power to make it go up. That is not enough. And how many parts are we up to? We're already up to 16 parts. Yikes. Yikes. Okay. So what we want to do then is, do we just throw solid rocket boosters? Maybe. Let's just put a pair of these on there and see what this does. Don't know if that's enough to get me to the moon and back. It might be just enough. I don't remember how much delta V we really need. This calculates us at 3879 that way, but really we would put this engine there. So it's really 3500 or so, because we'd want that engine to light. We want to go move mode, click on this, and then put this down. Like that. Okay. Do I add more fuel? It makes barely any difference because it's just that much more weight. Wait a minute. Yeah. Okay, that's better. That's how that should go. Almost 4,000 meters per second of delta V. Little more fuel, probably, astronaut? Hey, how you doing? Oh, you're a vet? Usually you want 4 to 5K? Yeah, I'm just trying to do a flyby. I'm not trying to go to orbit. And I'm trying to do it under the 30 parts, so I don't have to pay for the upgrade. I can afford the upgrade, though. I don't have any science or antennas or anything. I don't need an antenna if I got a pilot, really. Can YOLO it there. I'd want to put... Let's see here. I mean, I could go 3 boosters instead of the 2. I could go 3 boosters instead of the 2. I think I might have enough, though. I think we might have enough. And I don't really want more boosters, because... I don't know. Is this gonna be... This ain't gonna be very stable, because I haven't even unlocked struts or anything. This might be bad. This might be really wobbly. That's alright, though. That's alright. I mean, what I could do at the very top here is add one more little tank here. little fuel in that last stage goes a little longer, I think. Goes a little longer of a way. Well, it didn't really add much at all, did it? Did that actually hurt me? Yeah, that actually lowered my Delta V to add more fuel up there. That doesn't make any sense. Maybe? I don't know. It's hurting my brain to think about it right now. I just want to see if this will fly. So let's see what we got here. But thanks for popping in, Astro. Alright, so yeah, we're just going to do a flyby. We got all this lighting at once, then those decouple, then that would decouple up here. Probably got too much fuel in this one stage. 5 tanks, probably too much there. Not as efficient. Then that engine lights. And then we got this stage separating, and then that engine up there lights. And then the last stage separates, and then there's our parachute. I think we're good. I think we're good with this. Let's go ahead and we might as well bring a little bit of science, right? How many parts we got? 23? Yeah, let's just put 4 thermometers on it. We don't need 4 of them. We don't need 4 of them. But let's put 4 of them so we can record multiple temperatures. Because we're not going to be able to transmit. We can't go out and... I mean, I could put a... I'd rather recover. I think recovering gets us better science anyway. So let's just put 4 thermometers on it. It's probably not the right way to do it. Oh, you know what I should do? I should do... the barometer, too, right? What are we at? Ooh, 27 parts, so I can't put 4 barometers on. I can put 3. Nah, you know what? We'll just do 2. Make it a little symmetrical. That looks cooler anyway. We'll just take the pressure readings out around the moon. Hopefully we can get high above and low above. Hopefully. And then we'll do the other pressure readings another time around Kerbin. We can put 1 more part on there. We can put 1 more part. Am I missing anything? Parachutes. I could put some liquid goo on there. Should I put an antenna on there just because? Like, just because? Maybe. Oh. Just 1 damn antenna, right? Maybe I need it. I don't know if I need it or not. I don't think I do. Why is that not, like, sticking straight out? That looks weird. Can't get it centered. Maybe I gotta do this toggle snap. There we go. That's better. That's better. Is that gonna burn up when I re-enter anyway? Can't hurt to have an antenna. I'll feel really dumb, like, for some reason if I need an antenna. But yeah, that's my 30 parts right there. So let's call this, we'll call this Moon 1. We'll call that that. And, we'll save. Is Jeb in there already? Let's go, Jeb. Let's go, Jeb. And, let's go now, leave here. And I think I'm going to upgrade this, the tracking station, so I can more easily plan to the moon. I gotta upgrade, not go do it. Upgrade, patch conics, that's what I want. Boom, that's good. And to upgrade again, ugh, yeah, that's too much. And I got enough to upgrade the vehicle assembly building if I wanted to add more than 30 parts. But I think I'm going to try to do it without. Let's check mission control again. Nothing I really got to do. We're just going to do the flyby of the moon. And, let's do it. Let's just see if we can do it. Launch. What's the quick save button? I got to remember that, because I got to save a few times, because if I accidentally screw up, I don't want it to start back over, right? Quick save is... I'm looking at my list of cheating here. My Key binding. F5 is quick save. Okay. Alright. That's a nice looking rocket. Nice. Alright. Okay, here we go. I'm going to put SAS on. I'm going to throttle up. Maybe about halfway. So just maybe to save a little bit of fuel. Because these solid rocket boosters are going to send it, man. Check my staging and those two light up. Separate those. That separates. That lights. That separates. That lights up. That separates. And staging's good. Got our Space Force flag flying. And I know I'm forgetting something. I know I'm forgetting something, right? Let's just go. Let's just go. What could we be forgetting? Alright, I'm throttling down. We don't need that speed yet. I'm gonna have to start turning at some point. I'll give it a couple clicks just to start turning east. I don't want to flip this thing. I think I got plenty of Delta V to get there. I don't want to turn too much before I... Okay, let's go full throttle. We're almost ready to stage. Stage, perfect. Uh-oh, I'm flipping. Back. Back. Okay. This is horrible. I'm doing this like shit. Nope, wrong button. Display staging, nope, wrong button. Maneuver node? Yeah. Okay, we're not even close to going orbital yet, or in the space. Yeah, this doesn't have very good thrust-to-weight ratio, I can tell you that. But we're still going up. We're still going up. Trying to turn more east without flipping it. I think I gotta get a little higher before I feel safe about it. Okay. It's telling me I can turn a little more. Okay, our apoapsis is up to 60K. We're almost in the space. We're almost gonna go to the space. I think we can turn a little more aggressively. Sort of. Alright, we are officially gonna make it to space. And now it's just about getting into a good orbit. We'll go sideways now. Speed up. Oh, we got 4,000 Delta V left. That's crazy. Okay. Almost out of gas in this stage. Beautiful. And this is not a swivel motor, so it's really hard to turn now. It's really hard to control. Because I don't have any other control other than the reaction wheel in the pod. And that's another thing I just thought of. I don't have any batteries or solar panels. I believe these engines all have alternators, I hope. Didn't really think about that. I don't even have any of that stuff unlocked. Okay. We're almost orbital. Just to be as efficient as possible. We've got apoapsis of 103. Periapsis is still negative. Let's coast up a little bit more before we try to circularize an orbit. I think that was pretty good for a first shot. Well, I mean, I played this years and years ago, but I don't think I've done like a full playthrough since maybe 2020 or so. 2021. Several years. Let's see how good. Hey, that's not bad from launch. Look at that. That's not bad. Alright. There's the mun right there. I mean, hell, we might be able to just go all the way over here and just do a burn right there and not even go in the orbit. That'd be kind of dumb, though. That'd be a little risky. That'd be a little bit riskier. Alright, let's do a little bit of time warping. We don't have to get perfect right at the top, but a little closer would save some fuel and keep us from going too high here. That's good enough. Might take us a second or two to turn this. Oh, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. It's not that hard to control. Alright, now we're in orbit. 120 by 103 orbit. Alright, it can work, but you have to make sure you see the mun pop up from the horizon. Yeah, I've seen that happen before, like where people just like before, if you don't have like the maneuver nodes and stuff, you just kind of wait until you can see the moon and just burn, and then you pretty much get there. All right, and we're like almost right there. I mean, like right there would be. Do I have maneuver node unlock? I don't think I do. Do I? I don't even know how to unlock that, but I don't think I have that unlocked. So I guess that's the way I'm doing it. I guess I'm just burning to the moon. I don't have maneuver nodes. Okay, that's fine. We'll just send it. Gonna do a little brain rot scrolling before bed. Alright, Alfred. Thanks for hanging out. What I can do... Let's just point prograde. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the quick save F5. Just so in case I totally blow it, I can go back and reload a quick save. I got 2,500 meters per second of delta V. I hope that's enough. Should be enough. I don't have much left in this stage, so we're going to be leaving some space junk. It's all right. We'll just go in and delete that later. We're not getting too crazy about it. I'm not too worried about it. We decided we're gonna save our temperature reading and pressure for when we're in orbit of the moon. Even though I got four different thermometers. I mean, should I do a reading? Log temperature? We've already done this, so let's recycle it. We've been space near Kerbin. Maybe there's another one if I'm in space way above Kerbin. Okay, I don't see the moon yet. Oh, shoot. Just did that. We should be getting real close, because there's the moon right there. I thought upgrading that tracking station would have given me the maneuver nodes, but that must be something different. Okay, there's the moon. I think I just burn, right? Is that the way you do this? As soon as you can see the moon? Well, I mean, I got the thing here. I can lock on prograde and send it. Now, I'm going over here because the moon will be over there by the time I get there. That's the theory. We got tons of fuel. Tons of fuel. I could probably get in an orbit. Let's slow it down. Slow it down. Okay, that's a flyby right there. That's a flyby. It's, if we focus on the moon, right? Yeah, we do a really high flyby, and then we come back. That's it right there. Now I could get better than that, right? closer. That gets me to 29,000. And then it launches me out in the frickin' space. I don't think I want to do that one, do I? Do I want to go on the other side of the moon and then it brings me back? I think that's how it works. Kind of like the Artemis did. Yeah, I guess I'm just going to burn and go a little further and see if that works. I think that's how it works. If I come around the other way on the moon, like that. I'd like to come in a little closer, though. Do I need to do that, though? 2 days left till your birthday. Hey, Isaac, how you doing? Sorry I didn't say hi. I was kind of reading or watching the game here. What's up? He said, thought you were going to stream GTA 4? Nah, we decided to do Kerbal. I on my coin channel, I was doing an auction preview, so I already got my computer set up with my desk and my second monitor, so I would just, you know, it's easier to play a computer game today than a PlayStation game. Really? It's only 2 days, Isaac? Oh, I thought we had more time than that. Only 2 days till your birthday? Holy cow. Well, what we can do here is... Shoot. I mean, we can change... We still got 1,700 meters per second. Still got 1,700. I think we just go in for a closer flyby, and then we play with what we got left to get home. I think we go in for a closer flyby so I can get that close-by science. So I'm going to aim retrograde. Just burn a tiny bit. Whoa, that hits the moon. Okay. Let's go back prograde. Burn a tiny bit. That's 12,000. That's pretty low, but you know what? I'm fine with it. And then once we get back, we can... we got 1,700 meters per second. We can get that orbit fixed. We can get that orbit fixed. And we'll be back in 1 day. And then that's if we miss and don't do it, we'd go way up here. I think we're good. I think we're good. Not quite the beautiful free return trajectory, but Artemis didn't get 12 kilometers from the surface either. They did a huge flyby. That was like, what? Several thousand kilometers above the surface or something like that. To where they could get right back home without even another burn if they really... It was a test mission. Testing something we did 50 years ago. Okay. We're going. We're doing it live. Let's do another F5 quick save. GTA 4 tomorrow? Isaac, Alfred already requested that we play Fallout tomorrow. So it might be Fallout tomorrow. And then Isaac, what I'm thinking... Let me know what you think about this. Fallout, New Vegas tomorrow, and then GTA 4 on your birthday, Saturday. That might work, right? Because I'll already have my PS3 hooked up for Fallout tomorrow. That might work. Alright, we are going. What is the milestone we got? World's first. Broken a speed record, 2,500 meters per second. Nice. I say let's go 100 times speed and get towards the moon. Now we're 2,500 kilometers above. Let's actually... Are we wasting battery here? We got tons of electric charge, but we probably should turn off SAS just to save a little bit of battery. While we're way up here, let's go ahead and take a temperature reading. We've got 4 gauges. High, space high over Kerbin. There we go. Keep experiment. And I don't think I can do an EVA, can I? I don't think I've leveled up enough. Can I? Cannot disembark Astronaut complex upgrade required. Okay, so I can't even do an EVA, which is kind of a bummer because if I could do an EVA, I would be able to do multiple crew reports. You know what? I'm going to do a crew report right now, high above. It's not as much science as crew reports near the moon, but we're going to do multiple other moon missions and get crew reports above the moon. This one I won't remember to do, probably. Let's just go ahead and do our crew report, take that science, and not do crew reports around the moon. Now, if I could disembark, you could pull the crew report and reload it. I know how to do that with the capsule, but we're not able to do that. But hey, we're gonna do temperature high above the moon and close by the moon. That's our next thing to do. Where are we? We're right here. Where are we? Oh, we're focused on the moon. Okay, we're going here. Okay. Like, looking weird there. Isaac says, but I will go out to eat for my birthday. You won't be here to watch me stream GTA 4. Okay, Isaac. So how about this? How about this, Isaac? Thanks, Astro. Appreciate it. Fallout tomorrow. Then I'll do something else on Saturday. And then maybe GTA on Sunday night. Because I know you want to spend time with your family. And I know you're going to Raising Cane's and getting your donuts and doing all your birthday stuff. How about GTA 4 on Sunday? That might be good. That probably would be good. And then, because I got an auction I'm doing on my coin channel Saturday, I might be too tired to play any game Saturday night. Alright, let's go a little faster here. Going 100 times speed. All right, Isaac, we'll have a good evening, and hope you have a great day tomorrow on Friday. Cool. I don't want to jump to 1,000 times speed, because I might not click back in time, so we're just going to chill here and do... we got 68% signal strength, and I haven't even deployed my antenna. I think right here... If I go back to the craft, 64% strength. If I deploy this, it actually matters. Yeah, now we got 100%. Okay. Not that I need that, but it looks cool. Okay. 100 times speed. Aight, says Isaac. Aight. Alright, we're getting there. The last part's slow, because we're going slower and slower and slower as we get away from our planet. Slowing down, slowing down. Encountering in 1 hour 50, 1 hour 45. We're getting there. We're getting there. Don't want to overshoot. Although it wouldn't make that big of a deal. It's not like we're trying to land or get into orbit or... I mean, we're going. We're coming back this way if we miss, so... But I want to do the science. 1 hour 8 minutes. 1 hour 4 minutes. Yeah, I probably could have done 1,000 times speed and not been worried about it too much. Alright, almost at the encounter. 20 minutes. 15 minutes. And it's going to happen any second now at 100 times speed. They automatically time warp needs slower to 50 because we are in the moon's sphere of influence. We are there. We are there. So let's go to time warp 1 for a second. Go to our craft. And that's the temperature reading we already did. Let's go to this side. And actually, we'll just do this. We'll just do this. Log the pressure. 24 science. Nice. High above the moon. Then we'll log this temperature high above the moon. 16 more science. Keep experiment. And then we'll use this side for close by. And we'll have an extra temperature gauge. That's fine. We'll just keep that toggled and see if that works. I don't know if it'll stay toggled. But now let's go 100 times speed and get close to the surface. I don't know how close we got to be to consider space close to the moon. I think 12,000 should do it. I mean, it should be way close. I could go look up what the high above, low above thresholds and all that are, and we could look it all up, but we're not. Alright, we should be getting pretty close. Let's go back, see how close we are. Where's the moon? Oh, shoot, there it is. Okay. 204,000 above. Let's, whoa, that's probably too fast. Let's slow down. I guess we gotta trust the science here that we're not gonna crash into it. $25,000 above. Let's wait till we're under 20. Okay, we're under 20. Let's go ahead and log the data. Okay, right there. It's hard to see. I'm sorry. It's hard to see, especially on YouTube. Log the pressure data. Space near the moon. Yep, perfect. And then we'll log the temperature. Space near the moon. Perfect. Boom. We'll go back to map view. And let's check our milestones here. Contract complete for exploring the moon. And we've initiated the first flyby. Escaped the gravitational influence of Kerbal. Beautiful. Let's go back to a 50 times warp. Cruise on by the moon. Now, what I could do before we leave the moon, I could start messing with this periapsis a little bit. I don't know what I got to do to get it lower. My guess is go retrograde. That's my guess. But let's just see what a little tiny bit of retrograde does here to our periapsis. Right? Makes it go higher. Okay. If we go prograde, what's it do? Makes it go lower. But not a ton lower. It's shifting me. Like, I think I need to go a different direction. Like, I need to shift the whole... I need to probably go, like... What's it called? Not normal, anti-normal. It's the radial. I need to go radial, I think. Is it this one, or is it the other one? I got a 50-50 chance of being right. Oh, let's go stability. It's more efficient to do it now than when I get closer. Yeah, that's the right way. It's going in a lot lower. I probably should wait till I get away from the moon, because I'm getting all kinds of different moon encounters. This might not be the best way to do this. not. We got tons of fuel. I don't care. We got tons of darn fuel. That's probably not the best way to do it. Maybe it is. Alright, that's going just into the atmosphere right there. Oh, look at that weird trajectory we just got there. Let's get it to where it's going, I don't know, what, 35K? 30K? We'll call it right there. Alright, 4 hours we'll be there. We sped up our trip a little bit, too. Yo, Gringo! What's going on? We just did a mooner flyby. Just changed our trajectory substantially, so we're going in not quite a free return trajectory. We wanted to get a closer flyby, so we had to use some power to get home. But now we'll point retrograde so we can slow down when we get there. In 4 hours. So in the meantime, let's 100 times time warp and get home. How we doing, Gringo? How we doing? Okay, we're almost out of the moon's sphere of influence. Getting back into the Kerbal sphere of influence right about... Meow. Okay. It lowered me to 50 time warp automatically. Okay. Speed is increasing as we're falling towards the planet. Watching the tubes with your premium, YouTube Premium, eh? We just got another contract done. World's first. Escape the gravitational influence of the Mun. Nice. Two hours, 15 minutes. But we're doing 100 times warp. Premium's awesome. Yeah, just... I guess what I could do, Gringa, I mean, the problem is I got a lot of stuff I watch while I'm on my Michael Kittle Rare Coins account. I got a lot of stuff I watch when I'm on kittlegotgame. And then I got a bunch of stuff I've watched on my TV, which is a different account. I guess if I don't want to spend the $26.99 to have the family account and get everything premium, because it'd just annoy me if I'm paying for premium on one, but then I'm getting commercials on the others. It would just really annoy me a ton. A ton, right? So the only way around it is I got to buy premium account, family account for all, which I'll get up to 6 accounts in the household, even though I only got 3 accounts and it's just one frickin' person. And I only watch one at a time, ever. So I guess the other option is just start watching everything under one account. You know? Quit switching accounts. Log into my one account on my TV and then forget my TV account and just train myself to watch everything on one account. Have tons of stupid notifications all in one spot. Tons of videos all in one spot. And just deal with it that way. And then, because I think it's a big difference. I think premium on one account is... I want to say it's like $6, $7. I just said 6, 7, Isaac. It's like $6, $7, isn't it, for premium? I'd pay the 6, 7. I'm not paying 27. That's ridiculous. All right, 50 times warp. Get us a little closer. You know what? Before I get too close, let's do an F5 quick save in case I F this up. You have 2 accounts but only used the one. Never felt the need to have separate algorithms. I really don't need to have separate algorithms. It's just whenever I got my TV, I didn't log into one of my accounts. It gave me another account. I logged into my email address, so I got 2 different accounts under that one email address. I guess I can stop doing that and just log into whichever one I pay for premium. And I just like having... I'm subscribed to a bunch of game stuff and police body cams and just stupid stuff on my game channel because I only watch that. I support other gamers that support me, of course. I've done that. And all the kids that watch me. And then after I'm done streaming, I'm usually still on my computer after gaming. I'll watch stupid crap like body cams and stuff, and that's on my gaming account. When I'm on my coin account, I'm usually subscribed to a bunch of other coin channels and watching that kind of stuff. So I don't need to have separate algorithms. It's just what's happened over the last decade or so. And for me to like have to like then now abandon that after a year, it's just, I mean, it's not that big of a deal, I guess. Retract antenna. We'll put our antenna down. So I got an option here. We got 1,200 meters second delta V. I just kick off. I mean, we're going into the atmosphere, coming down in 33,000 kilometers into the atmosphere. Should be enough to slow us down and make us land and not skip through the atmosphere. But we're coming in hot. We're just about ready to hit 25 meters a second, 2,500 meters a second. I could use this fuel to slow myself down as well, which would be the smarter thing to do. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's use up some of the fuel. Let's go to stability. And I don't want to do pure retrograde. I think I want to do retrograde slash... Is it normal? Somewhere between retrograde and normal? Let's do this. I want to keep my... Or is it retrograde and radial? I think it's retrograde and normal. Because then that'll keep my periapsis close to the same, but slow me down. Now that's making my periapsis go down. Maybe do radial? I don't think I'm doing this right. I mean, I am slowing down. Okay, here we go. Let's get my periapsis at 35, 34. Yeah, this is where, right here's where I want to be. I'm reducing my apoapsis, which is meaning my speed's reducing. But my periapsis is kind of staying where I want it. Right about the same. Yeah, right around 30 kilometers, 30,000 meters. Trying to keep it in that little sweet spot there. Might as well use this fuel. It's helping me slow down, which will dramatically reduce my heat coming in. This is a good thing. Now, if I went straight retrograde, that would mean we're going straight down into the atmosphere, which would generate way more heat. We'd burn up. Or a better chance of burning up. We don't want that. We want to go a little shallower into the atmosphere to burn the heat up over time and slow down over time. But I think this is pretty good. We've definitely reduced our speed. We were coming in over 2,500 meters per second, and now we're down to... What are we down to? 2,000. So I say we just stop it right there. We'll point prograde. We got 218 meters per second in the tank still. We're going to abandon ship on that. We're going to jettison. Now we're going to point retrograde. And we're going in. We're going in. Much slower. Much slower. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Instead of just wasting all that fuel, I think we did a good thing. Now, where are we projected to come in? We're focusing on the moon. How do I focus on Kerbin? How do I focus on Kerbin? Is it this button? Let's focus it on my ship. Yep, that's perfect. So we're actually not touching the ground. We're going to come in 26,000 meters above, but the atmosphere is going to slow us down. We should be landing somewhere over here. I believe. Don't know. Don't know. Time warp. We use about half the electricity in our pod. Okay, we're in the atmosphere. We're going in. We're going in. We're doing it live. Yeah, I should look up the price of YouTube Premium just for one account and see. Yeah. Because I was watching something on my TV last night and it gave me a 50-second commercial. Non-skippable. And I just backed out. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to finish watching this video. I'm not sitting here for 50 seconds. On a computer, a 10-second, 15-second, or 5 seconds that you skip, that's not. I'm used to that. That's no big deal. But a 50-second non-skippable? I don't care what the show is. It ain't worth it, man. It ain't worth it. If I wanted to save on electricity, I could just do stability assist or turn off SAS altogether, I should say, because just the shape of our pod's going to keep it there. I think we're good. Periapsis is going down. That's good. We want it to go down to 0 or lower. Preferably lower than 0. It should do it. We're going 19, 18. We're getting some speed burned off there. Oh yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good. Yeah, burning off all that speed before we came in the atmosphere. We're still getting heat effects on our antenna. So if I use Q to roll, will that cool that off? Yep. Let's get a different part of it burning. Probably should have done the flat antenna that lays across the... But that one doesn't look as good. The only ads you get are ads inside the videos. It kind of pissed me off, Gringo, because somebody during my auction preview said they got an ad right in the middle, and they had to, like... I had it set up to where manual ads, so... I gotta go back and check that stream. The only time it starts putting ads in the middle of my stream automatically, without me telling it to do, is when I have automated ads set up, which maybe I messed up and still had that on. Or if I get a copyright claim for music or something, then they start putting ads all over my stuff. And like if it's revenue sharing, it's not. I still get part of the money even usually, but so I'm wondering if the Kerbal Space Program triggered. It shouldn't have, because I play that all the time and never get a claim for it. All right, we're at 18,000 feet. Now we're coming in over highland, so I'm going to switch this from sea level to above ground. So we're 16,000 above the ground. I don't care what my sea level is. I care about how far above the ground I am. So we are coming in. Jeb's all happy. We'll just go ahead and turn off SAS. Save the power. We're going in either way. We're not controlling this thing. And last thing to do is deploy my parachute. Those are different than what I'm talking about. You assume what he said was an ad you have no control over. The ad's inside the videos. I don't know what that is. You mean just like an overlay ad? Or you mean like Rob finds treasure? Hi, Rob. Trying to sell us mining stocks that are going to go to 0 and that are pieces of garbage. Because any company paying promoters to advertise their mining stock to noob shareholders instead of using that money on their own business. What legit corporate purpose is there for pumping up your own stock? I mean, come on, that just means you're a garbage stock and it's a pump and dump. Anyway, hi Rob. So never buy that but I'm not an investment advisor. That's what they all say, right? Like that's going to save them from the lawsuit. I'm not an investment advisor. Even though you're getting paid to pump a stock. Anyway, I'd be careful about that before getting involved in any of that. And I'm sure they are careful in that, of course. But being careful doesn't stop a lawsuit and having to defend it. There's a couple YouTubers right now dealing with that in the SD Bullion lawsuit. You can look that up. It didn't get dismissed from court. They have to pay for discovery. You know how much it costs to go all the way through a lawsuit as a defendant with full discovery against a corporation of all like that, going through hundreds and hundreds of emails and discovery and interviewing people and having people review that? Well into the 5 figures. I don't want to have to spend that. Anyway, that's what you mean. No, Gringo, the other one that I don't like on YouTube the most is when I'm watching a stream, they put an ad above the live chat. Like a text ad. I'm coming in hot there. Ooh, okay. I was coming in pretty fast. I could have jettisoned the heat shield to save a little bit of weight there. Maybe I should have done that. But we're good. We landed. We're safe. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to do an EVA because we've never been here before. EVA report. We get 2.4 extra science by doing that, and we will board. No, like right above the text, like right above the live chat. I don't see it always, but sometimes there'll be like a I don't know, it's about a quarter or a third of the height of the video that I'm watching. But what that does is it shifts the entire live chat down instead of being even with the video I'm watching. So if I want to chat, I have to scroll down to the chat bar, or if I want to see the last couple lines in chat, I have to scroll down. And then I'm missing the top part of the video. It's really annoying when they place that ad. Recover vessel. But usually when I see that on a stream, if I want to hang out and watch for a while, I just keep hitting refresh on the window until that ad's not there. It's not always, they don't always put ads there. We just got 133.9 science. You know what? Maybe Premium gets rid of that, Gringo. You're right. Maybe Premium gets rid of those ads. But you know what I'm talking about? It's just like a billboard right above the live chat, so it shifts the whole like third of the screen to the right down, and that's really annoying. Really annoying. All right, next, we just got a bunch of money, bunch of stuff. Jeb got 2 more XP, but he didn't level up. I think you got to go into orbit or maybe even land on the moon to get the next star and the next thing unlocked for your pilot. Let's skip ahead to daylight. $573,000, 175 science. We are doing good. What do we do next? Explore the moon again? We'd like you to go to the moon and stay there in a nice stable orbit. Oh. But we can't leave them in the moon forever. Those things are expensive. Return one to Kerbin. So orbit the moon and return to Kerbin. Could have just about done. I could have done that this last trip. I can use the same exact rocket and do this. I could. I had plenty of fuel. So we're going to take this mission. All right. Observational temperature surveys of the moon. Ferry 3 tourists. Don't want to do any of that. Ferry tourists to their destination. I mean, where do they want to go? This guy wants to do a flyby of the moon. Oh, okay, well. I mean, I guess if I wanted to really redo the spacecraft a little bit, I could add a little compartment to put 2 tourists and see if I could drag them along. No, that's 3 tourists. Sorry, I can't count. Is this game still being updated at all? No. No. But there's still a giant modding community that does a lot of mods, and they still do a lot of stuff for it. Like, maybe one thing I did... I mean, you know, this is just part 1 of this playthrough, which might end today, or I might do a playthrough for 10 parts or 20 parts. I don't know what we're going to do yet. But what I should have maybe done is something a little bit different. Like, we just went to the Mun, and then there's Duna, and the same planets. It's stock Kerbal. I could have, like, installed, they call it the Real Solar System mod, to where it changes everything, the Mercury, Venus, the Moon, Mars, Jupiter. It puts the real planets in. That might have been something a little different, you know. And then instead of Kerbin, you're on Earth, and I don't know, maybe, but I don't really know. I mean, I can figure it out. I just don't really, have never really done much mods, but there's still people that support a lot of that. And there's all kinds of like automation mods where you do like flight computers, where basically you just hit a button that says "put me in orbit" and the ship flies itself. And so maybe I will do that, Gringo. I don't know. I mean, because right now all we've done is go into orbit. We went and fly by the moon. Stuff we've done 100 times. This next mission, all I would do is fly by the moon again, maybe go into orbit for a second. That's the contract. And then these tourists want to... Yeah, these tourists want the same thing. Fly by the moon. Orbit Kerbin and fly by the moon. Recreate the Artemis. I basically just did that on this last mission. With just one person. I just did a closer flyby, which didn't give me a complete free return trajectory. Remember, Artemis, they went way above the moon. Like, they were, what, a couple thousand kilometers above the surface. They didn't get that close. I just went on this mission 12 kilometers above the surface. Very close. And by doing that, it didn't put me in, like, a free return to get me right back into the atmosphere. I had to do a correction burn and to get into the atmosphere. To get free return that way, you have to go way above the surface like Artemis did. At least at the direction I was going. And that's kind of boring. I wanted to get close to do more science. And I had enough fuel to do it. Artemis doesn't have enough fuel to do it. That's the problem. That's why they got to do that crazy trajectory, because the ship is not built to go to the moon, really. They used a bunch of space shuttle parts to slap it together. It can't go to the moon with a lander and land on the moon. It can't do it. They didn't design it for that. They designed it to get to the moon and dock with a base that doesn't exist yet, and then take a different lander down to the surface. That's the plan, I guess. They're going to go to the moon, just like they did in their capsule, and then transfer to a lander, probably Elon's Starship, and then land on the moon that way. And then, presumably, go back up to the little Artemis capsule, and then come back to Earth and land in that, because it's got a good heat shield. And even though, and the one that they're in the moon lander that Starship is going to be won't be the orbital return vehicle with all the heat shields. It'll be a different setup. But that's what you get when the government doesn't just say, hey, we're going to spend, I don't even know how many billion. Let's just say it was 25 billion. I think that's low. Let's just say we're going to spend $25 billion to go back to the moon, right? What would you do, Gringo? Ideally, you'd start with a blank page and say, let's design the best thing possible using current technology, right? That's not what they did. NASA and Congress and all the people involved said, hey, we got all these people that were part of the space shuttle program that made lots and lots of money making these, solid rocket boosters and these engines for the space shuttle. So let's give them all the contracts, and now you build a space program to get to the moon out of all the old space shuttle parts. That's what you should do. Build it out of all the old space shuttle parts and see how that works. And keep all the same people with their nice contract. So that's why Artemis and the SLS has space shuttle engines, which are those the best engines to be using? I mean, that's 40-year-old technology. Certainly not. It's got the big booster from the space shuttle. It's all space shuttle parts. And it doesn't do what Saturn 1 did 55, 60 years ago. Mars training. Well, they're going to the moon for a couple of reasons. Yeah, it's kind of like a gateway to Mars is they want to go to the moon because then they can make fuel on the moon, presumably. I think that's the plan. The big part of most of the fuel and weight you use to get up into space is getting out of Earth orbit. So to get enough fuel to go to the moon, or to go to Mars, up in the Earth orbit, would take several launches. I mean, they say even to get to the moon, to take a big craft like Starship to the moon for land, They said they got to do somewhere between like 10 and 20 launches of Starship just to go up carrying fuel. Because so much of the fuel gets burnt getting up, and then when they dock, there's only a little bit of fuel left to transfer to the vehicle that's going to go to the moon. It's just, that's what it is. So they got to launch about 10 to 20 Starships just to get enough fuel to go to the moon. And then to get to Mars, how many would you have to launch, right? So I guess what they want to do is it's a lot, if you have water on the moon, which they say they do, you can make rocket fuel out of that on the moon. It's a lot easier to launch stuff off the surface of the moon. And then if you're all the way out in the moon orbit, or you're so far away from the Earth's gravity, it's a lot easier to get to Mars from there. A lot less fuel, I guess. I think that's the plan, is you make fuel at the moon. I think that's the plan, long term. And of course, you have a base on the moon because you'll be using that to make fuel and do science. And Elon says in the next 10, 20, 30 years, depending on how things go, he's going to have a factory on the moon full of robots building chips and satellites, basically making AI. That's what if you watch that video, did you see that one, Gringo? I think it's called the Terrafab. It's going to have a factory on the moon because you can make all the stuff. You have all the components there to make chips and make satellites and make solar panels. And then he's going to have like basically a rail gun, like a maglev thing, like a launcher on the moon. So you don't even need rockets. You just collect solar power for free, store it in Tesla batteries, and then launch the satellites direct off the rail right in the orbit because the gravity's so low you don't even need rockets. And he says once you get that figured out, you can launch thousands and thousands and thousands of satellites. And if you have those computers up in space, there's nothing blocking the sun, so it's unlimited power. It's cold, so the computers don't overheat. And you get AI going crazy there and make tons of money and solve all the world's problems. Full of ideas? Yeah. But he gets a lot of them done, too, which is crazy. All right, so we're not going to ferry tourists to the moon. We're not going to do that. Sorry about that. I don't think we're going to do that. I think we're just going to keep this spacecraft as is. We're going to go do that orbit of the moon and try to do it. Tracking station. Do I got some space junk flying around? I really don't, do I? Do I? How do I not have space junk? Where's the second stage from that last one? Did it come in and blow up? Oh no, here it is. Moon debris. Should we blow it up? Yeah, terminate. Now I know, look, if I had a kick-butt computer, I would keep all that and just look at how much space junk I get at the end of a playthrough. But I'm just on my laptop, and the more stuff you have going around and it tracking, and I don't want that on my system, so I'm deleting that. Now we don't got any space junk. Not very realistic. I could put a probe core on there and then control it and deorbit it or try to land it like SpaceX does, but we're not doing that. We're not that good. Hey Mark, how you doing? Mark, the Raptors did really good today. Did you see that? I saw it. Astronaut Complex. What do we got to upgrade here? Oh, we got an admin building. Active strategies. What do we do? Fundraising. This takes some of my reputation and gives me money. This takes my science and gives me money. No. This takes my reputation and gives me science. I don't want to do that. This takes some of my money and gives me science. I don't know if I want to do that. This... I don't know what this does. One-time strategy. Oh, this sells my science now. I don't know if we want to do any of this. A corporate bailout? Or a government bailout? Takes a bunch of my reputation and gives me money? No. This gives me a little bit cheaper launch cost, a little bit of money off my funds, but less reputation. This gives me more minimum, less maximum. Okay. This gives me more funds, reps, and science from milestones and field work, but less funds from contracts. I don't know if I want to do any of this stuff. Do I? I just maybe leave everything alone. Oh, and this costs me $36,000 and 73 science to set up. I don't know if it's worth. I never really messed with any of this stuff. And maybe it's maybe if I upgrade, it would be different. The commitment and stuff. Let's see. If we upgrade this, I can perform EVA and I can place flags. Performing EVAs would get me a lot more science, though. So that's 75k. Spaceplane hangar, we're not messing with that yet. Research, we don't need to do that yet. That's really expensive. But it allows me to do surface samples, that's good. This one... Mission control upgrade required for maneuver tool. Okay, mission control. Flight planning available. I think I need to do this. There we go. And that's too expensive. But I can get more contracts now. Which I don't want to do any of these contracts. So it didn't need to do that. Didn't need to really spend that. Let's go to my science real quick. Is there anything I want to change about my craft, or do I just do the mission, save my science, and do the mission, save my science, come home, and complete that contract? Well, what I could try to do is I don't need to do those temperature surveys or the pressure anymore around the moon. I could try taking some liquid goo and get more science that way. We could try that. I don't need to do those pressure readings. We've already done it. So maybe I'll switch that out. Yeah, and then I'll save my science. I can't really get any new science that matters, can I? I can get the Science Junior, but that's heavy and big, and I'm not going to bring that to the moon yet. Yeah, there's really nothing science that I can get here. Is there? No, there's not. Okay, let's just do the other mission. Go to the VAB. We'll switch out our current science. I haven't done pressure above Kerbin or high above Kerbin. I'm going to get rid of all the thermometers. Because right now we have 30 parts. This gets me to 26 parts. If I move these all the way up to the top... Oh, I only got one there now. Sorry. I move these up to the top. There we go. And then I get myself a couple liquid goos. Is that what they're called, even? Mystery goo. I'm sorry. I call it liquid goo, but they're mystery goo. There we go. And hopefully those don't burn up on re-entry. What is the information on these? Maximum temperature, 1200K. I mean, if I put them up higher, I think they get... the heat shield protects them more. So if I do something like this, slide these up higher on the craft, I think that's better. I think that's better. And then tuck these underneath that to protect the goo. Because if the... that's more protected. I think that's better. And we're at 28 parts. I can put 2 more parts on. Is there anything else I want to try to do? No! Let's just send it. Let's just send it. We're going to call this moon number 2. And we're going to save it. And we are going to launch. Alright, we're going to try to do the same thing we did. Let's check our staging right quick. That's that, that's that, that's that. That, and that. Perfect. Chubb's happy. Got a bunch of world's first milestones again. Okay, and contract complete. We still got one contract. Orbit the moon and return home. Okay? Let's put on stability assist. And we're going to go ahead and do max throttle, but then we're going to back the throttle down substantially until our boosters are done. And we're going to send it in 3, 2, 1, go. I'm going to start turning east a little bit at a time so we don't flip it. I think we got tons of extra fuel. Hope so. Our rocket is spinning. Not uncontrollably, but it's spinning. I don't know why. Probably because I got those... Oh, shit. That wasn't ideal to do it that way. I am not turning very far to the east, I'll tell you that. It's okay. And actually, we're slowing down. I got max throttle right now, and we're slowing down. Now we're starting to speed up a little bit. So this engine here doesn't have very good thrust-to-weight ratio for what's left. Quite inefficient right here. But we made it last time. So we're going for it. They just got to get through this thick part of the atmosphere. Try to keep it pointed towards 90 degrees as much as possible. Again, right here's 90 on the nav ball. That's where we're aiming. That's due east. That's the direction our planet's spinning, so we get kind of a free speed boost by going this way. If we go the other way, we would have to counter this rotation of the Earth first, and then get into orbit. So it's a lot more gas required, a lot more fuel required to get into orbit going the other direction. That's why they always launch on the east coast and head east. Take advantage of the spin. They ain't dummies. That's why Elon built Starbase on the east coast of Texas. And they launch east. It's science, yo. Okay, we're doing good here. We're doing good. This engine's almost out of fuel. Stage. Know if we've did as good of a launch or as good of a launch profile this time. I don't know. It just seems a little like we didn't do it as good. We're not high enough, really. We're getting higher. 57,000 kilometers is our apoapsis. I think we're going to be okay. I think this is going to be good. This is going to be actually really good. Maybe even better than last time. Okay, we're going a little too high there. And we were getting some heating there that was really weird. Oh, because we're still going through the atmosphere at like 2300. We're going too fast through the atmosphere. I think we're going to be okay. We need to just we are going up higher. It's just, should I go 2 times speed? Make sure I get up out of that atmosphere 3 times speed. I should have launched up higher. We were way too shallow is what we did. And I don't know if now we have enough fuel. I've spent a lot of fuel going through the atmosphere there. Okay, we're in space now. No more atmosphere. Was that? Did I do bad there? We're almost in orbit, though. We got 2,600 left. I think we got a ton of Delta V, right? To go to the moon, get in a quick orbit, and then get home. Yeah, and our periapsis is already 31. That was actually a pretty good launch then, I think. It was a pretty good. Yeah, we're almost in full orbit already. Just a little low over here. Yeah, I think we did okay then. Okay. Thanks, Elios. How you doing? All right, we brought our pressure gauges again because I wanted to do a pressure reading low in Kerbal Space and then one high of Kerbal Space. We already did ones around the moon. So we got one of those done now. All right, so let's get a little bit closer to our apoapsis there. We don't need to make this perfect, do we? Yeah. That's good enough. And then give it a little bit of fuel. All right, we're in orbit now. Cool. Now, let's figure out how to get to the moon. Do we just do the same thing? And I think I can actually plan a maneuver now. Yeah, I can add a maneuver now. Couldn't do that before. I could just point to it and YOLO it again like I did last time. But it's going to be over here somewhere. Add maneuver. Prograde. We should plan it, though, if we can. And there we go. And we want to get in the orbit, so let's do it right, huh? Focus view. That looks pretty good right there already. We'll do a real tight orbit, right? Even though that's less efficient. We got 2,500 meters per second. It'll cost us 842 to get to the moon. I don't know how much more to get in the orbit. We don't need to do... Well, I did bring my mystery goo. I do want to get science close to the moon. So I do want to... We don't have to get into a super tight orbit. I can still have it be a high orbit on the other side. This should be good. I think we're good here. Let's do that burn. I like that. I like it. I like it a lot. So we got that maneuver node coming up in 7 minutes. It's going to be a 41-second or so burn. That's not going to be exact because it's 2 different stages, 2 different engines. But it'll be close. It'll be close to that. We'll figure it out. So let's go to stability assist and point towards the maneuver node. Ish. That's pointing straight down at the surface. That's not good. But hopefully, once we get around over here, we're pointing to space, at least. Yeah, we're close to pointing to space there. Close enough. Node is in 45 seconds, burns in 41 seconds. So... Hey, Pilster, how you doing? We want to burn... I guess what they say is, like, when it gets to, like, minus 20 seconds, I should start burning, because then half the burn's before the node, half's after. I think that's what I always see people tell me. So let's try to do that. Just send it right now, right? Close enough. Try to keep it close to that maneuver node. Which is basically just burning prograde. So why don't I just hold it prograde, right? Get a little bit of space junk out there. Why not? Closing the orbit, something like 200 and getting back 300. Oh yeah, then I got tons of fuel. See, I used to like, when I played this years ago, I used to have like a chart that had all that stuff and it would help me keep track of like how many delta V I need to do each thing, and it also had on the chart like how high is space high above and low above and all the different things. And alright, let's go here and fine-tune this, or try to. We'll aim towards the maneuver node a little bit and get that last bit in there. But I haven't really played this game, at least like a regular like career mode or like a more of a playthrough, for several years. Alright, that looks pretty good, I think. Let's see how we did. Well, we're going around the moon, and we're going to be coming in at 24,000 meters. I think that should be space low above the moon, to use my mystery goo. That should be. Taking tours to the moon a couple of times? Nice. I have a contract to do that, but the contract is really just to go orbit the moon and return to Kerbin. There was another contract to bring tourists along, but I didn't want to add the tourist capsule, and because right now, I mean, I haven't upgraded my I haven't upgraded the VAB yet, so max 30 parts still. I got enough money to do it. I'm just being cheap, and I'm just being cheap. Alright, so if I don't go into orbit, we're going way out into Kerbin escape. We don't want that. So we do have to go into orbit. I mean, I can plan that right now, can't I? And just see what it would take. So if we go right here, add a maneuver, and go retrograde to close that orbit, I believe is what they say. I can do it for 74 meters a second. That's super cheap. That's super cheap, right? That's nothing. That's nothing. I think Artemis brought a lot of people. I think so too. I think so too. Sorry, Elios. YouTube blocked whatever you were saying. I don't know what they like, what they didn't like about that. What possibly could you have said in that? Should be able to put node there. Check the DV. What possibly would have been in that sentence where YouTube would have felt the need to moderate that? Moderate that. I mean, do they think you're saying check the D? Like, we're talking about the D, you know? They think you're talking about the D? What is the blue line? Well, let's look at all these lines. Let's take a look. Right now I'm focused on the Mun. This is the line of where I'm going. This is my craft over here. Here, let's focus on my craft now. Hold on. This is my craft. That's the debris we just launched. The debris is staying in orbit here. Like, that debris is staying in orbit right there. That's its line. My craft is going to be traveling along this blue line. That's where I'm going. And when I get to here, the moon's gravity takes over. The moon's gravity takes over, and then that's where I was looking at the moon, trying to get in orbit of the moon. Now, that I'm going over here, but the moon's here right now. So a lot of people that don't know how space works and orbits and stuff think, how would you get to the moon? Well, just burn straight to the moon. Well, it takes in this game 4 hours 54 minutes to get here. Presumably it would take about the same to get there. By the time I would burn straight to here, the moon would be over here. So I'm going here because when I get here, that's where the moon will be. So you don't aim right at the moon. You aim where the moon's... You want to aim to where the moon's going to be. So that's the blue line. This line here is the orbit of the moon. If I zoom way out, then this line is the orbit of the moon and Kerbin around the sun. And then there's all the other planets. And so lots of lines here. Lots of lines here. And I think I just messed up my maneuver node by clicking something there. Yep, I just messed up my maneuver node, I think. So let's go back and... Oh, I gotta click on the moon. So, shoot, okay. Focus view. Yeah, I'm not going in the orbit anymore. I clicked something there by mistake. I clicked something there. So let's go here to maneuver. Wasn't there like a maneuver planner or something here? I guess maybe I don't have that unlocked yet. Advanced. Orbital. Guess I don't know how to use this stuff very much. But I clicked something there. I probably need to go retrograde a little bit more. Yeah, you know what? Let's just cancel this maneuver node. I clicked something and messed it up. How do I delete that? Delete. It's still not letting me delete it. Oh, let's just delete it right here. Okay, there we go. I clicked something and messed it up. Okay, you weren't sure if the moon would be at that spot by the time. Yeah, so right now, if I do nothing. Right now, this is if I do nothing. I'm going out here, then I encountered moon. Then this is what happens. Then I fly from here, really close to the moon's surface. That's my periapsis, the closest approach to the moon, 24,000 meters. And then I slingshot around the moon here. Then, once I get here, I get back into Kerbin's, or Earth's gravity, and then I'm go here, and then I take this line way out here, and I escape Kerbin. And then, after that, I'm out in space around the sun. So right now, I'm going close to the moon. That's going to speed me up and slingshot me out of the system, instead of bringing me back to Kerbin. So I don't want that. I want to get into orbit of the moon. So I'm going to plan a maneuver right here. You want to do it at the periapsis, because that's just the most efficient way to do it. And I'm going to go retrograde, slow down. And there we go. I'm going to burn about 100 meters a second or so. Slow down when I get there. And then that's going to put me in orbit. And then once I'm in orbit, then I can figure out how to get out of orbit. And instead of slingshotting out into space, return back to Kerbin. Flat Earthers are hopeless? Well, they don't believe any of this. They don't believe any of this. This is all fake. You know? And then the problem with Flat Earthers is then you say, what would it take to prove it to you? And then they'd say, oh, well, didn't do this. And then once you prove it to them, that's not good enough, because where did you get your information? You can't trust anything they say, you know? How do you trust them, you know? And then they always move the goalposts. Always. Always. And I don't really believe any Flat Earthers really believe it. I think they're just retards, for one. So I think some retards might actually believe it. Or they're just starving for attention. And they just want to believe something different to get attention. They really don't believe the Earth is flat. They don't believe in all these conspiracies. They just think it's fun, and it gives them a sense of community. There's other people they can hang out with and play the game. They don't really believe this. They don't really believe this. I don't believe that. I don't believe you can go... Again, unless you're a retard. I know there's retards out there. But other than that, I don't believe an educated person, even going through regular schooling in the United States, can really believe that there's a flat Earth. There's so many different ways it's been proven. So many different ways. I mean, get a fucking globe for one, right? I mean, come on. I just don't believe there's anyone that really believes it. I think there's a lot of people that monetize the whole flat Earth thing and pretend to believe it, and they go to conventions and they hang out because they're losers and they have nothing better to do. And that gives them something to do and something to feel special about. Could be wrong, though. Maybe there are some people that really believe it. That aren't really retards. Okay. We don't get basic... Well, I mean... Yeah, I mean... Again, Elios. There's 1,000 different ways to prove that the Earth is a sphere, or it's not even a perfect sphere, whatever it is, that the Earth isn't flat. There's 1,000 different ways to prove this is all real. We have videos of it. We have other countries taking videos of it. We have pictures of the damn footprints and tracks of the cars on the moon. But oh, those pictures are fake. And oh, every time you show some kind of it's all fabricated. It's all the goalposts get moved. It's ridiculous. But there's no evidence at all on the other side that the Earth is flat. There's no actually any evidence whatsoever, other than your little monkey brain standing outside. Looks flat to me. I don't know. Looks flat to me. That's the only evidence the flat earthers actually have, is their little monkey brains looking outside and saying, I don't see no curve. Looks flat to me. And that's called being a retard. So I don't know where it really does fall in, but just want to have the feeling of no. Well, exactly. Just like any conspiracy theory out there, Pilsners, like the people that do it don't believe anything else, no matter where the evidence comes from, no matter how good it is. And then when the evidence is good enough and comes from a real source, they don't believe it for another reason. The goalposts always get moved, and nothing will ever be good enough to change their mind because they don't want to change their mind. They love the idea that they're special and they think they have information that you don't have. Sounds like I've watched some of those videos. Alex, come on! Or maybe I got family members that tell me. No, come on. Come on now. What's going on, Pablo? How you doing? I was thinking, I offered to play GTA 4 on Saturday for Isaac's birthday, but he's going to be eating dinner with his family. So maybe we got to do Saturday Witcher. Because tomorrow, Alfred requested Fallout New Vegas. I should probably speed up and get closer to the MUN here, right? Let's go here first. We'll do a quick save, F5. Did I hit F5? No, I don't know what I hit. I hit F6. What the hell does F6 do? I don't know. But let's hit F5. Where am I? F5? Quick save, okay. Let's go to map view and go 100 times speed. Start getting a little closer. So yeah, tomorrow maybe New Vegas, then maybe Saturday we'll do some Witcher 3, and then maybe Sunday we'll do some, what was that dumb game Isaac likes? Oh, GTA 4, that's right. Should pick up Windrose. Oh, the game? I've heard of it. There's a lot of games. The one that's coming out that I'm thinking about is maybe that new James Bond game. Kind of thinking about maybe playing that. So if I want to do this too, I can just click here, warp to here. Just to go a little bit faster. Get close to our encounter. I want to go short of that, because yesterday says, oh, I already did my pressure. I got to remember to do my other pressure reading high above the Earth, or Kerbin. So let's do this. We'll do our other pressure reading. We've done this one, right? No. Just confirm. We've done this one. That pressure data is logged. So now we'll log pressure here. High above Kerbin. Ah, it reads 0, as if it were in a vacuum. Nice. Okay. And then, where am I going to do my crew report? I think we just did one the last time going to the moon for a flyby. We did it high above Kerbin. I guess we could just do one high above the moon. I mean, we get more science low above the moon. Might as well do it low above the moon. Right? You love watching the videos where flat earthers prove their theories wrong? Well, then, yeah, well, exactly. Gringo, they go, oh, and then they come up with another reason why that didn't work and why the Earth is still flat. You ask someone that believes that we never went to the moon landing, what would prove? Well, how about if you took a picture and showed me the landing craft on the moon? Okay, we've done that. Oh, but those pictures are fake. NASA would fake that. Okay, so then you have India put a probe around the moon, and then you get a picture from India showing the moon landing. Oh, well, that's fake too then. Oh, okay. Well, how about people that are our enemies, that have every incentive in the world to prove that we never went to the moon, like China or Russia? They got pictures of the stuff that are public. Oh, but that's not good enough either. How do you, I mean, it's all phony. I mean, they really can't believe that unless they're retarded. They really can't believe that. They really can't believe it. I get that some people that are uneducated, don't know anything about the space program or physics or science whatsoever, They turn on their phone, they get onto the YouTubes, or especially TikTok, and they watch some stupid idiot tell you that we're on the firmament and the big ice wall and there's government and it's all a conspiracy and whatever, we're flat earthers, okay? I get that they might believe it for a second, but then when they finally watch a video proving that's all wrong, I mean, their brains can't be that bad to where they just have to keep changing the rules. I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a second. It'd be easy. Well, isn't that what they said? Isn't what they said, the whole joke about Steven Kubrick? They say Steven Kubrick filmed the moon landings, right? But Steven Kubrick's such a perfectionist, and he wants all... I mean, he filmed 2001 Space Odyssey in, like, 67. I think the movie came out in 68. But he filmed it all, and it looks... I mean, you watch that movie today, it still looks like an amazing... It still is an amazing movie, but it was 60 years ago technology. And it's just amazing how he was able to do that back then. So the joke is Steven Kubrick, they were going to hire to do the moon landing, and he wanted to film it, blah, blah, blah. It was going to be so expensive, it just was easier to film it on location. So they actually just went to the moon. So they hired him to film it and fake it, but it was cheaper just to film it on location. That's like the joke, right? Okay. Love discussing flight paths with people. Oh, yeah, exactly. Like, hey, if I fly from LA to China, why do I have to go over Alaska? Oh, that doesn't make sense. Just go in a straight line. It is a straight line. Come on, man. It is a straight line. Do I need to extend this antenna for any reason other than just looking cool? Let's just do it because it looks cool. All right. Let's go back to the map. We will now go into the moon's sphere of influence right when we get to here. So right when we get to here, then we'll get on this path and start going this way. Again, it's the same thing. The moon's here. We're going here. We're aiming here. But now it just turns and now we're going this way. We're going to end up here going around the moon. It's just a different way to looking at it there. But now we are over the moon. Going down towards the moon. Right over here somewhere. Where's the moon? Oh, there it is. So now we can do one of those goo containers. We got both pressures read. Let's read some mystery goo. Why is it not working? Because I'm warping. Whoa! Whoa, okay. We want to go retrograde, actually, when we get there. To slow down. So yeah, this is what's happening. We're going really fast to the moon. And if we keep going the speed we're going, we're going to fly right by. We're actually going to gain speed around the moon, like a gravity assist, and we're going to slingshot out in the outer space away from our planet and the moon. So what we got to do is when we get really close to the moon, we're going to slow down. And to slow down, we just burn the opposite of the way we're traveling, called retrograde. That's what we got to do. But let's observe some mystery goo high above the moon. The goo feels right at home here. 20 science. Nice. That's if we recover it. Which I hope we do. Alrighty. No, I mean, Elios, the one thing you just got to tell people that even start going down that rabbit hole and pretending like the moon landings never happened and all this shit is like, we were in a space race, Cold War against Russia. If we faked it at all, they would have said something and they would have proved it then. But they didn't. They actually were in communication with us, helping us at the moon landing. Because they had a moon lander at the same time, an unmanned moon lander, and they were in communication with each other, sharing data, so we didn't crash into each other. Russia didn't want to crash their moon lander into our moon lander, because that would have been bad. That would have been bad for Russia if all of a sudden they crashed their moon lander into ours that had people in it. So they were in full communication, sharing data all during that. They were trying to beat us to the moon to get a sample of moon rocks. And they had a moon lander the same time we had a moon lander, July 1969. And they were all sharing data, and they would have told everybody and proved it if we didn't do it. And to think that they would have helped us cover it up. You know, the only answer, and maybe they did help us cover it up because the aliens told them to do it. That's, I guess, the only other answer. So maybe the aliens told them to keep it quiet. Okay, here we go. We need to now, our burn is going to be in 1 hour, 13 minutes to get into orbit. So let's speed up, get closer to that. We'll go 100 times speed. Yeah, if it were fake, they would have called it out. Exactly right, Alex. Exactly right. And right now, like I said, there's probes from, and imaging probes, satellites, from several different countries that have taken pictures of the moon landing sites. And they all show the tracks from the rovers and the landers and all that stuff. I get that you might not believe NASA, because NASA would fake it, right? Sure. But what about all the other countries? They're not going to fake it, too. Well, maybe they will, because that's what the aliens tell them to do. Sure. Sure. Okay. Well, then they got the one experiment, too. I think it was from Apollo 11, the first one. They put the reflecting panel on the moon, and you can shine a laser at that exact spot on the moon, and the laser will bounce off that panel right back to you. It's how you measure how far the moon is. Right? It's an experiment that still works today. Now, I can't do it with my little laser pointer you use to shine at airplanes. You got to have a real good laser, but you can shine it there. Anyone on the Earth can do it. Not just Americans. Even Canadians could do it, Pavlo. You shine it there, it bounces right back, and you accurately measures the moon's distance, and you can calculate how far the moon's leaving the Earth every year, and it's a science experiment, and they do that. You can go right on the various websites, and you can see the distance of the moon track calculated from that to the exact centimeter every year, or whatever, however often they do it. You can't fake that. Well, I guess you could send an unmanned probe to do all that, I guess, but it still means we went there, and it still means the Earth ain't flat. All right, we're getting closer, closer. We don't want to overshoot. It's just a 6-second burn. Okay. Getting closer. I hate how dark it is in this game. There are mods that actually make it brighter. I probably should maybe look into one of those if we're going to keep playing this on YouTube. Because I know it's dark for me on my screen. Everything on YouTube's even darker. It gets super dark. Four minutes till our burn. I guess we can get closer. I was just maybe just read chat a little bit though too. So we're listening and celebrating. Well, yeah, the scientists would cheer, sure, exactly. But they were all monitoring, watching because they had their own lander there. And believe me, it would have been bad for everyone if they would have crashed. Even though the odds of that are like 0. You know how bad of luck it would be to crash. Like, that's why they don't really worry about, like, all of Elon's satellites up there. He's got, like, what, 10,000 Starlinks or something? And everybody's like, well, how does, like, something like Artemis launch without hitting satellites? Well, because a satellite is tiny, and the Earth is really big, and 10,000 of them spinning around the Earth, the chances of hitting one randomly are about 0, like, rounded to 0. It's not impossible, and they do track them, but it's like 0. You're not going to hit it. Ever. That's why they're not worried about it, ever. But they still track it just to be sure. Of course. Because they can. They have the technology to do it. Alright, we are getting to be low. Let's see. I think just to be safe, when we get under 25k, I'll read our other goo here. Actually, I can read it now. Observe goo. In space near the moon. That worked. Cool. Keep experiment. 6-second burn in 29 seconds. I don't need to wait for that. Let's just burn retrograde. And that little movement of the camera probably means we're in orbit. So, and I can confirm that right here, because contract parameters complete. Stable orbit has been achieved. Mission Control's still debating the best way to get me back home. You packed a toothbrush, right? Oh, no. Okay. We've entered orbit of the Mun. Okay, cool. There we are now. Cancel that maneuver note. That's our orbit. Now I gotta try to figure the best way to get home. Let's see here. Let's read chat first. Scale model to Earth, and when the Earth does stay yet, they're on Earth and within the gravity. I mean, there's a billion different scientific ways they prove all this is real and all the flat Earth other crap is bullshit. No, but again, the people that choose not to believe and not to be reasonable, are going to still choose not to believe and still not be reasonable. So let's focus on my craft right there. Especially no atmosphere, everything's preserved. Well, yeah, exactly. Now, everything's not preserved perfectly, and I guess one way they can do it is, Pavlo, think about this. I think that in the next 10 years, let's say, maybe 20, because everything's slower than plans, and maybe they've already planned this and I don't know. They say Artemis 3 isn't going to land on the moon. It's going to go around again. I think it's actually going to go into orbit this time, maybe. Don't know. But Artemis 4 in 2028, because Trump really wants it to happen before he's out of the presidency, they're going to land on the moon again. Artemis 4, 2028, before Trump's out of office. That's what he really wants, and they're pushing to do it. And if all works, they'll do it. Why not? But a lot of stuff has to work. Everything has to go great at NASA, and everything has to go great at SpaceX with the landing, with the lander craft, and all their refueling tests. Let's assume it all works great, and they land somewhere. Once they land on the moon the first time, I'm guessing within the next 5 years, maybe 10 years after that, they will send another lander to land right next to the Apollo 11 landing site, or one of the other Apollo sites. Maybe one that's more interesting where there's more experiments. Because that was, I think, Apollo 12. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you guys know. Apollo 12, one of its main things was it landed right next to one of the Surveyor probes that was sent there a few years earlier. And part of the mission is to land as close, just to see if they could do it. How close can they land to the other probe? And they landed within walking distance of the other probe. And then they looked at that probe to see what the moon did to it and what the cosmic rays and the radiation and the solar, blah, all the stuff on the moon, the vacuum of space, did to the materials sitting there for 3-4 years, whatever it was sitting there. That was the mission. So I think a big mission would be send another lander now to one of the Apollo sites, whichever one they think's most interesting, and check it out. You know, take a picture of the footprint. See if the flag is turned white like a lot of them say it did. They think the solar radiation bleached all the colors white, so now there's white flags flying on the moon instead of American flags. Check it all out. See if that car still looks good on the moon. Why not? That would be a good mission, and it would maybe shut up some of the flat earther moon deniers and all that. Laser thing, do you have to wait for a specific time? I don't think so, Pablo. You just got to wait until that part of the moon is pointing at you, and then you got to have the right laser and know exactly where to aim. And then that's what happens with lasers. If it's on a mirror, it bounces straight back, and you using the speed of light, they calculate how long it takes for the laser to go there and back. You divide that by 2 using the speed of light, and you know the exact distance away it is. I think they get it to the centimeter. And they do that experiment at the same time, like each year or the same time each month, whatever it is. And they can calculate because the moon is escaping the Earth. Every year, the moon gets further and further away, I believe. It's eventually going to leave us in like 1 billion years or whatever. So they can calculate how far away the moon's getting. And eventually, that makes all kinds of stuff crazy. I think it makes our day a little bit longer, and it changes tides, and it does all kinds of stuff. And then eventually there'll be no such thing as a solar eclipse anymore because the moon will be too far away to completely block the sun, and there's all kinds of cool stuff there. Not sure what they have to test with Artemis 3. Docking and... Well, yeah, they want to make sure... Well, and I think it's making sure... Well, they already kind of tested docking, didn't they? Wasn't that part of Artemis 2? There was a little bit of a test of that. But I think, yeah, I don't know exactly what the Artemis 3 is. Why they can't just... Why they need an Artemis 3 and they just don't do the landing on 3. Why do they even need it? I mean, in Apollo, they did several tests before Apollo 11 was the landing. I mean, Apollo 8, they went around the moon. Apollo 9 and 10, they were connecting to the LEM, and, they went around the moon again, I think, in Apollo 10. They tested all kinds of stuff before they actually did the landing, so I get they have to have some tests. And this is a new craft. They want to make sure it worked. Like this one, the big test here, it was just making sure they could, making sure that people could live on it for 8-9 days, even though the toilet was a little iffy, and then making sure that the heat shield worked. That was the big test. With what lander? They don't have it yet. Exactly. Elon's got to build it still. And not only does he got to build it, he's got to prove that they can refuel it, fill it up with fuel so it can get to the moon and land. So there's a couple steps. There's still a couple steps. And if all goes well, then they'll be walking on the moon in 2028 before Trump's out of office. How long's it been since a manned moon landing? 1972. They did Apollo 11 through 17. 6 moon landings. 1 didn't land, Apollo 13. 12 men total, 2 in each mission, walking on the moon. So I don't remember exactly the best way to get back to Kerbin from here. So I think I gotta picture it like me and the moon are going around the Earth like this. That's our orbit. So for me to get back here, I need to burn retrograde. So I'm going this way right now. I need to burn retrograde, right? So do I need to burn... I'd never get this right. Do I burn here? Retrograde? Add a maneuver? I'll probably get it wrong. Oh, that's prograde. That's not working. That's just sending me around the moon a whole bunch. That's wrong. Alright. I mean, the easiest way was I just burned retrograde right here to get in the orbit. If I burned prograde right here, I'd go back to where I was going, escaping. So I think I want to burn prograde out here, right? Add maneuver and go prograde here. That's retrograde. Prograde here. I think that gets me back home. And that's correct. Well, it gets me out of... It gets me here. Starship can't stop blowing up. Well, Elios, that's not exactly fair. Remember, what they're doing, they're not trying to make it work easily. They're testing it. And they're pushing it to the limit. So when they put the Starship up there, they're not making a perfect Starship. Like, they even launched the last couple. They have it intentionally missing various heat shields, or heat tiles. They have it with heat tiles of different materials. And they're trying to make it fail. They're trying to make it work, and then fail right at the last second. They're pushing it to the edge to test it. I think they could make it work fine, but then would they know what the limit is? And would they know, like, if they're close to it? Or would they know if they could engineer it? They're pushing it to the limit to test it right now. So go back 10, 15 years, whatever it was, when they were testing the Falcon 9 and how to land the rocket. Like, they couldn't even land the damn rocket in the beginning. How many of those crashed before they even did it once? Now they do it every other day. They do a couple hundred of those a year. And none of them fail. It's like perfect record for the last, I think it's like 100 some in a row without them going bad, isn't it? Or maybe one messed up. I don't know. But that's what happens. Like, in the very beginning, you expect some of them to blow up, especially when they're going fast paced and they're testing. So yeah, I mean, has it blown up a little more than they planned? I don't know, maybe. They cut the space budget. Oh yeah, after 1972, they had Apollo 18, 19, and 20 planned, and they had a bunch of other stuff planned. But what happened is we beat the Russians. We beat the Russians to the moon. Then what? That's what the whole point was, is to land a man on the moon before the 1970, because that's what Kennedy said. Kennedy died, and then everybody wanted to do what Kennedy said in his inaugural speech in 61 or whatever it was. But we did it. We beat the Russians to the moon. We landed a man on the moon before the end of the decade, July 1969. We went there, got a bunch of rocks, drove a car on the moon. Why keep going back? Really? I mean, that's what the taxpayers were saying as we're in the middle of the Vietnam War, spending tons and tons of money. Why keep going back? We already beat the Russians. What's the point? And they quit going back. And they cut the budget big time. Alright, what are we doing here? I gotta read chat. There's a lot of chat in here. Musk needs to be deported and asset. Why would you say that? He pays a lot of tax money. He's the biggest taxpayer in America. I mean, as far as who pays taxes. He pays millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars of taxes. He has no idea what he's doing. Well, he's running a company, and the company's doing a lot. So, I mean, you don't have to agree with everything he does, but I'm glad that he's doing what he's doing, and he's doing it for my country and not some other country. What's going on, Mr. Marmello? How you doing? How you doing? All right. I wouldn't bet against him, I'll tell you that. I'm not betting against him. So if we burn over here, that's our path. So what we can do just to check to see where the best place to burn, I can grab this maneuver node and move it around, and it looks like it's way better to burn over here. We get pretty close to the Earth there. And if I click on that periapsis and burn a little bit that direction too, that gets me home. So I can basically get home into the atmosphere for only 188 meters per second delta V. So that's what you do. You burn prograde pointing against your orbit. Okay, that's how you do it. All right, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do it. Tesla is about to go bankrupt? I don't think you know what you're talking about. Tesla, look at a chart of American or just any auto companies in America on revenues and expenses, and Tesla's like the only one making a shitload of money. Are they way overvalued? Probably. Is their stock need to be worth as high as it is? No, it's the what is it? What do they call it? The PE ratio? Is that what they call it? Price earnings ratio? It's huge because it's anticipating so much more growth, and it's anticipating Tesla putting batteries in everybody's house and solar panels, and it's already priced in everybody having an Optimus robot cooking them dinner and wiping their ass. Maybe that'll actually happen, and the company will make trillions and trillions, but that's already priced into the stock for a lot of it, and they're giving him a $1 trillion pay package if he can make it happen, and the shareholders voted for that. But just on cars? I mean, Tesla's, the maintenance is nothing on them. There's nothing that goes wrong. The maintenance is zero compared to a regular car. You just got to check the brakes and tires. And the brakes you really don't have because the engine does the braking. You just got to change tires on the darn thing. I mean, the robot they faked? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. He's also... I'm going to delete that because that's just a bullshit comment. You don't know what you're talking about. And you say he's addicted to K. He actually showed his drug report. He's been drug tested. That's bullshit. I think you got to stop reading some fake news. Look, you can disagree with his politics. You can hate the fact that he paid millions and millions of dollars to get Trump elected, and he basically bought the election in Pennsylvania, and probably single-handedly is most responsible for him winning over Kamala, who was a bullshit candidate, hand-chosen, and nobody ever voted for her. You can hate that all you want. All right, you're just going to get banned from chat, you know, if you're going to keep saying that he's a Nazi, because that's just stupid. That's just retarded to even think that. And we don't need that in the channel. All right. Okay. Look, you can not like him. You can be one of those guys in your Tesla saying, I bought my car before Elon went crazy. That's fine. You can have your opinion. But if you just start spewing stupid shit, it's hard to... I mean, might as well tell us the Earth is flat. That makes more sense. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and node in 3 hours. Let's go ahead and speed up and do this burn. Oops. What do you mean faked robot? I think when Alex in one of their videos, the only thing I know, even think whatever that is they do a lot of what do you call it? Presentations where they're showing off Optimus robots, and they're saying, "Hey, check this out." And then you find out, oh, that's not really an autonomous robot. There's somebody controlling it with a joystick behind the wall. Is it still a robot? Yes. Is it totally working on its own? serving you popcorn and doing a dance and shaking your hand and stuff? Maybe not. Not yet. It's a prototype. Is there some nerd wearing meta glasses and virtual reality around the corner operating it? Maybe. So what? The whole point is that they're trying to build a robot that'll do this in the future. It's not ready. You can't go to your dealership and buy one yet. They're not done. But is it a big scandal that they're faking that? I mean, I guess it depends on what they're telling people. I think if that's what's happening, and I've read that's what's happened in some of their tests, apparently they're not hiding it. And I don't think it's a big deal. So what? So what? But you want to call him a Nazi? For what? Because you're retarded? Oh, okay. I mean, I guess that's a good excuse. Because you disagree with his politics? Okay. I don't think you know what the word Nazi means, so... I just think that's, I mean, it's like, how do you talk to someone like that? And anyway, I said I don't want that in my chat anyway, and then you say it again, and there you go. Bye. Okay, node in 22 minutes. We got a 10-second burn. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. All right, get closer. We'll slow down that. Think Elon's a nutcase? Well, he's definitely somewhere on that spectrum for sure, Gringo. And again, I guess a lot of people can't separate their politics from just looking at the person, which, okay, whatever. And so people that don't like his opinions and what he's been doing are going to call him a nutcase. People that love what he's doing and are all for him are going to call him a genius. That's fine. I don't care what you call him. But when you call him a Nazi, what does that even... I mean, you don't even know what the fuck that means. And that's just an insult to real Nazis and the people that suffered from the Nazis. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That's what that tells me. It tells everyone. Looking foolish. Looking foolish there. Okay. Let's get a little closer to the burn. Elon sends a lot of things not friendly about it. Okay, you can call him a racist. You can. I don't care. You can call him a white supremacist. You can call him that. But the N-word there? That's stupid. I don't agree that he's racist. I mean, is having pride in yourself and your own country and your own upbringing and your own people automatically make you hate everyone else? No. I don't think that's a racist. Is it wrong to have pride in yourself and your own background? And I mean, if it is, then apply that equally everywhere. And that's not going to ever happen. All right, we got 27 seconds to the node. It's going to be a 10-second burn. Again, we are burning... Oh, we got to aim prograde. Ha! Almost burned backwards. We actually got to aim prograde and then a little bit below that. A little bit below that. Because we're burning slightly radial. Right about there. Well, that's the whole thing, Pablo. When you throw around terms like that, or even, like, I mean, there's all the people out there protesting, calling everyone fascists and Nazis and all this, right? It loses meaning. It takes away from the people from the 40s that you're really comparing to that did universally accepted horrible things, and it just totally minimizes, because if you're saying the stuff that's going on today is exactly the same as that, you don't know what happened back then. It's just stupid. It's just really dumb. And of course you say that because it's like, you know, it's a word that stings, and you think that it has more effect by saying that, but whatever. He bought Twitter to say whatever he wants, and he does. Well, exactly. And he did it for one big reason, because the previous administration was censoring people on that platform and threatening that platform and people on it to spread fake news. And that's been proven many times over. And they were kicking off people that weren't doing their bidding. Now, I don't know. People that control the news and people that restrict free speech, I don't know. We could throw around some words that have been thrown around for Elon, but I don't like throwing those words around either. But I don't know. Look up the definitions of those terms and see who it really fucking applies to. But again, you're gonna you're gonna put your politics into that, and you'll believe what you want to believe, of course. All right, we are going to escape the moon, and we're going to head right back to Earth, and we're going to come in at 30,000 meters. That's about perfect. We don't even have to touch anything else. We'll go right in and go for a landing right now. Easy. Easy. Putin's war. Yeah, exactly, Pablo. And look, I don't know all the politics on that and all what's true, and there's propaganda all over the place on both sides, like there always is. So, is some of the stuff Russia's saying have some truth to it? Maybe. Is a lot of it fake? Likely. Is some of the stuff Ukraine says fake? Probably. There's probably some on both sides. Without even knowing the situation beyond that. There's probably some propaganda on both sides. That's my guess. But when you start throwing around, Nazification, that just gets everybody, that doesn't know, oh my God, we have to fight that. We have to fight that because that's really bad. Because, like Marmel said, it's bad to use either one of those N-words. And of course, we don't talk politics while I'm playing games and stuff, so I don't know why you guys keep talking about this, so. Alright. Space traveling alien. What? Well, I mean, people like to have sense of humor, too. And you say he says not friendly things about lots of races. If you're talking about South Africa, I mean, he's from there, and there's a lot of unfriendly, racist things happening in South Africa. I think someone from that country that, personally has been exposed to a lot of that stuff and has suffered from it deserves to comment on it. I think so. Why not? I don't think that makes him a racist either. I mean, observing something and commenting on it, does that make you a racist? I mean, maybe it does. And if he is, then great. You can call him that all you want. Time-traveling alien, not space oh, okay. Okay, what do we got going on here? I can't move. I gotta click on the window. We're gonna go there, and we're gonna escape, so let's just go ahead and do this. Let's finish this mission up. We're gonna escape the moon, and we're gonna be traveling along this path back to Kerbal. Now we're traveling there. We'll be back in 5 hours, it says. Of Kerbal time. So let's kick this up a notch. How you doing today, Mr. Marmello? Marmello, did you see my auction preview today? On the Coin Channel. Mr. Marmello, did you see my auction preview today on the Coin Channel? At all? Did you see it? Did you see it? Yeah, no Marmello emojis? Did he lose his emoji button? What happened, right? Okay, let's go to 100 times speed. I'm trying not to miss this landing here. Is Mello allowed to bid? Well, that's what I gotta try to talk to him about. Oh shoot, I'm gonna miss it. Oh shoot. Okay. Oh, stop. I think I got too close. Oh, we're getting real close here. Okay, I need to go retrograde. We gotta slow down. We got way too close here. Oh, shoot. Let's use our gas that we got. Slow down. Oh, man, this is stupid. I got way too close. I should have quick saved. Oh, where's the plan of that? Oh, I can't see what I'm doing. Oh, there it is. Okay, I gotta do this. I gotta hit stop, go prograde, stage, Go retrograde. Oh man, that's stupid. Oh, we're going way too fast, way too hot. That was bad. That was really bad planning. I did too much warp. Uh-oh, we're getting hot. We're getting hot. I don't know what that is. I think that's my antenna getting too hot. I think we're gonna be okay. Yes, of course he's allowed to bid. He just answered you, Gringo. Within reason. I guess, Mello, I gotta remind you one more time. It's not legal. Your country has made it not legal to send coins. Okay? And New Zealand's customs, I've watched enough stuff on YouTube and TV. Australia and New Zealand customs actually does their job a lot, and they x-ray a lot of packages. And if they discover that you still have me sending you coins, even as gifts, they can open those packages and seize the coins and take them. So as long as you're still willing to take that risk that your country is going to steal your coins, you're allowed to bid as long as you pay, and I'll send them as a gift to you after that. And this one really isn't even a coin. It'll just be a royal wedding souvenir if you bought that pendant. It'd be a royal wedding souvenir. And I don't even know if that's allowed or if that's okay under... You got to know your country's rules. I don't know every country in the world's rules. So if you're comfortable with me shipping to your country and taking the risk that your country's going to steal your stuff, then so be it. Then so be it. Then you're allowed. I can't be responsible. And yeah, no silly bids. No bids with emojis and no bids in pounds or bids in like 67 cents or... Okay. Why can they not have coins? It's against their law. You can't send them coins. There's a whole bunch of stuff. And it's not just New Zealand. It's several countries. You can't... And I think it has something to do with, like, anti-money laundering and things like that. Like, they don't want New Zealanders, like, buying lots of gold. And I think it's, like, maybe even, like, anti-terrorism stuff. And instead of, like, trying to police it, they just do a blanket prohibition. Never any coins, never any bullion, never any of that from outside of their country. And I think it's to protect businesses in their own country, too. Like, so if Mello really wants to buy a coin, he needs to buy it from somebody in New Zealand, is what it really is. Kind of like America puts tariffs on a lot of countries, and other countries put tariffs on a lot of countries to incentivize people in America to buy from Americans. If I really, really want to buy from someone overseas, I can do it, but I got to pay tariffs. And I'll do that if it's something I really, really want and I can't get here. But if I have any other option to buy it here, much cheaper, I'm going to look into that and do that. And that's what the government wants you to do. Mello's government doesn't want him buying coins from outside of New Zealand. Don't know all the ins and outs of it. We could ask AI and go into a whole thing about it. But the way we've been doing it, Alex, is I don't send him that many. And it's all stuff with the Queen on it, because that's all he ever buys, is stuff with Queen Elizabeth on it, or Queen Victoria. I guess every now and then with a king. So I always send him other stuff, like I give him a couple t-shirts, I give him lots of stickers, give him all kinds of other gifts. So I send him a package, I put on the custom form, gifts, clothing, royal, souvenirs from the Queen, Christmas ornaments, just whatever else is in there. As long as, I'm not writing the word coins on there. Is that me breaking the rule? I don't care about New Zealand's rules. That's my opinion. I care about the rules of my country, and I don't care what, I'm not going to get in trouble for that. The worst thing that's going to happen is Mello's going to, if they don't like what we did there, Mello gets his package seized and he doesn't get his coins. Or he'll get a note or that they opened it and took something out. But usually they'll just take everything and throw it away. Recover vessel. How did he buy a foreign coin? Do the dealers over there have free reign? I guess maybe you would have to travel and buy the coins and bring them back. I don't know how it works there. I don't know all the rules about them doing coins and money and stuff through the mail. I don't know all the rules on that. I don't know all the reasons either. No, I'm sure coin dealers are just as regulated. And I don't know if the same rules are in Australia, because I can go to the Australian Mint and order coins and they'll mail them to me, but can someone from Australia go to the U.S. Mint and order coins mailed to them? I don't know. Again, before a couple years ago, a lot of countries treated the U.S. differently than we treated them, unfairly, and to the disadvantage of our businesses. Now a lot of things are back on equal footing, and there's reciprocal tariffs. A lot of people don't like that all of a sudden, now America wants Americans to deal with Americans and not buy all over the world with and they don't want to have to get their businesses charged and tariff, but they've been doing it to us for decades. So again, it would be great if it was free trade all around the world and everybody hugged each other and we all lived in peace and harmony, peace and love like Ringo wants. That's not the world we're in yet. Not until our buddy Elon gets all them robots working for us and all the AI making us all billions and gives us all universal basic income, right? But I don't know I don't know like what it would be like if you're a coin dealer in New Zealand. Can you get coins shipped to you, or do you have to? Or is it only certain countries? Like, can you order stuff from Commonwealth countries? Could you order stuff from Australia? Can you order stuff from London? Can you order stuff from all over the place? But you can't come from the United States? Maybe it's just a prohibition from the United States. I don't know their rule. I just know that when I look at the postal rules, it tells us we can't ship coins to New Zealand. Beautiful moon tonight. Is it a full moon? Full moon. When's the next full moon? Let's see. Next full moon. Friday, May 1st. So it's not a full moon. It's just a beautiful moon? Okay. I just assumed the beautiful moon would have to be full, but that's what I get for assuming, right? That's what I get for assuming. No silly bids for Marmello. That's true. That's true. You don't think tariffs do what you think they do? But it doesn't really matter? I know they do what I think they do, Gringo. If I'm trying to buy something, and I used to always buy it from Australia, right? And now all of a sudden I have to pay a tariff to get that thing from Australia. Yeah, I'm the one paying. It hurts me, and it hurts that business on Australia if I stop buying from them. But it tells me right there, if I have another option to buy something similar from an American without paying that tariff, I should be doing that. It incentivizes me to buy American. And you're damn right, it works. If there's an alternative. Now, if it's something you got to buy and there's no reasonable alternative, yeah, that sucks and it costs you a lot of money. But what that does long term is it incentivizes companies in America to start providing those resources or products in America to Americans instead of doing it overseas. It's a long-term thing, a lot of pain and suffering in the short run, I get it. But it's all about incentivizing consumers and more so businesses to make things and buy things in America. Now, they advertise it a little differently than that, of course. They advertise it as, they're the ones paying it, they're the ones hurting. It's to make things equal because they do it to us, and they do it to us. Absolutely. They do it to our companies all the time, and they've been doing it for decades. But yeah, it's basically to get you to buy stuff in America. And it's worked for me personally on a very small scale. I spend a few $1,000s a year for my coin club buying coins for prizes for our coin show and for our meetings. I used to buy a lot of stuff from the Royal Mint in London. I used to buy stuff from the Australia Perth Mint. I used to buy stuff from mints all over the world. I used to buy a lot from the Canadian Mint. This year when I went to go buy coins, the Australia Mint just flat out says, we're not shipping anything to America right now because the tariff situation is confusing and we don't know what to do. I couldn't buy anything from Australia this year. Was I upset? Sure, a little bit. But you know what I did 5 seconds later? I just went to an American dealer and bought some stuff. So it worked. It worked. It got me to quit buying overseas, and it got me to buy from an American. The tariff worked. Same thing with the Royal Mint. I tried to buy from the Royal Mint. They would sell to me, but then they said I would be billed for tariffs. But they couldn't tell me how much. Am I going to buy something without knowing how much I'm going to pay? No. So you know what I did? I didn't buy from the Royal Mint this year. Instead of buying overseas, I bought American. I bought from an American dealer. It worked. Is it ideal? No. Is there going to be demand for world coins, new world coins in America still? Yes. Will people figure out how to get those coins in America so I can buy them from an American dealer? It's already happened. Other people are dealing with that, and I can buy them from an American instead of buying straight from the Royal Mint, and I can avoid the tariffs that way. It works. It absolutely works. It might take years and years and years for businesses to create factories to make products and to avoid tariffs. And it's a long-term thing to some extent, but it has immediate effects and it does work. It's not a perfect situation and you don't have to love it, but again, just in that small case, instead of spending a couple $1,000s overseas for the Coin Club, I spent a couple $1,000s in America for the Coin Club. And we still got prizes. Not the same prizes we would have had, but we still got prizes. And that was the whole point, to incentivize me to do business in America. That's not what they advertise it as, though, of course. They don't say that, they don't say it quite that way, but that's what it does. Don't think it's going to change factory jobs. Cheap crab's never coming back. If the tariffs are high enough, it'll all come back, Gringo. Every bit of it, if the tariffs were high enough. It won't happen overnight, but if all of a sudden, like, every little Chinese piece of shit that you buy for a couple dollars, if all of a sudden there was $1,000 tariff on it, you would never buy that stuff. But somebody would say, hey, there's still people want this little $5 Chinese piece of shit. Let's make a factory in America. And even if it then costs $50 because it's more expensive in America, you'd rather pay the $50 than the $1,000 tariff to buy it in China. Now, that's a super exaggerated example, but that's what happens. Eventually, if there's demand for whatever you can't buy anymore because of high tariffs, somebody will figure it out. Either somebody will figure out a way to import it to America around the rules, or in bulk, or some other way, or through other countries, and then you'll have to buy from that person in America. Or they'll start manufacturing in America at a higher price, so it'll cost you more, but you'll be buying American. And some businesses can pop up and be doing that in months. Some might take a decade to pop up, and some, you're right, might never come back. But then you got to pay the tariffs. Or find an alternative product. Only come back being built by robots? Maybe. Absolutely. Maybe. Marmello says, Ringo, peace and love. All right, we got the moon mission done. We went around the moon. What's next? They're saying explore the mun. We know little about the mun. Can we explore it? We have enough data on the moon to attempt a landing. Or we could stage one. It's up to you. Well, I think it'd be really expensive to stage a moon landing. Probably be cheaper just to film it on location. So I think exploring the moon and doing a moon landing would probably be ideal, right? That'd be the way to go. So land on the moon is a mission that we're taking. Yeah, I'm going to end it here too, Gringo, after I do a little cleaning up, picking a few things. But thanks for hanging out. Have a good Friday. And, yeah, have a good Friday. And Gringo, we'll chat about lot number 3. Don't worry, we'll chat about lot number 3. And then, yeah, we'll see you on Saturday for that. Thanks, Ringo. All right, we got that, and then we got another one, science data from the surface of the moon. Well, shit, if we're going to land on the moon, we might as well do some science there, so let's take that contract. Anything else here? Anything else here? We don't do these. We don't do these weird EVA reports and temperature surveys and ferrying VIP back and forth. Where do they want to go? Orbit Kerbin and a suborbital. That'd be easy. Just take somebody in the orbit. Really, the only point of doing all these tourist missions is to make money. I don't have a money issue right now. I got 849 grand. But if you're ever playing Kerbal and you're short on funds, I don't know why you would be, unless you just keep blowing stuff up and you don't know what you're doing, which is possible. Then you do tourist missions. Easy money makers. Especially once you get familiar with, like, something like this, orbiting Kerbin. If you got a good craft that you can orbit, you could take this one here. You could also take this one here and do both these contracts at once. This tourist and these two. Take 3 people up, make a bunch of money just doing a quick orbit. Here's another 3. These ones want to go around the moon. So that would be a little tougher. But if you wanted to build a big enough ship, you could take these 3 plus these 3. They don't want to go to the moon, but take them there anyway. You'd get their contract for orbiting Kerbin. You'd get all these guys for flying by the moon, orbiting Kerbin. Take 6 people, 1 big ship, get all that money. Easy peasy. And best behavior for Mello. Anyway, Mello, I was wondering if you saw that. I think it's lot 17, maybe. I showed it there. If you like it. If you don't like it, I'm not pressuring you to buy it. I just know it's something from the Charles and Diana wedding, 1981. A nice little pendant on a sterling chain. And starting it basically at the silver melt value. So if it's something you or Ma Koala would like, I want you to know about it. I don't think there's really anything else here that I want to do, though. There's testing of a bunch of stuff in weird spots. This one's super easy, but it's hardly any money. Gives us 4,500 bucks. Testing the booster at the launch site. Does it give me a little bit of reputation? I guess. So should I do it? I guess, right? Let's just do it. Testing at the launch site. Those are ridiculously easy. We should do it. It gives us a little rep. And a little, So that was our moon number 2 mission. Let's go ahead and scrap that. Let's go here, and then we're going to test the flea. It was called the flea. And to test it, we don't really want to go for a flight. We're just going to test, so we're going to take all the fuel out. That's the cheat code. Make sure it has no fuel. We're going to go to the launch pad and give it the test. Can you come? You want to go to the moon? Do we have to bring you back? I don't know, Nightbot. Only if it's your birthday soon. Only if it's your birthday coming up. All right, so we got these contracts finished. Let's see. First steps, exploring the moon and return home from orbit of the moon. Here we are, testing the booster. All we got to do is stage it by doing that. And contract complete. 4,500, 1 science, and 1 reputation. Recover vessel. All right, that was intermission right there. It was your birthday years ago? No, but when's your next birthday? That's what I mean. When's your next birthday? All right. Messages, contracts, messages. Okay, let's get rid of that. No XP for Jeb from that. We got 292 science, $800,000. I think the next, if we're going to land on the moon, we need to upgrade the vehicle assembly building. 30 parts won't do it anymore. We need to go max parts 255. So let's upgrade the VAB. That costs 225 grand. Space plane hangar. We're not going to mess with that just yet. Astronaut complex. That allows me to perform EVAs. I got to do that. And place flags. We got to do that if we're landing on the moon. We got to be able to leave the capsule and plant our flag. So that costs 75 grand. We just upgraded that. Okay, that's all that. What else do we got to upgrade? We need the one that lets us take surface samples. What was that one? Is it this one? Yes. $451,000 to be able to take surface samples. Yikes. Yikes. The anniversary of the day you were born is in June. Okay. Then why did everybody always say happy birthday and not sing happy anniversary, right? Do I want to spend that to upgrade? Is it that important we take a surface sample? I think it might be. Or do we need a better tracking station? I don't think we need a better tracking station yet. Because if we go to the moon, we're going to be doing a manned mission, right? We're not going to be doing a probe to the moon. We might send a probe to Uranus, but we're not going to send a probe to the moon yet. Or anywhere else yet. So we really don't need to boost our tracking station. to be able to reach a probe. The launch pad, I think, is good. Max vessel size and max weight. I think we're going to be fine to build our lander there. So I think we can spend the money, even though it brings us down to only 100,000 bucks left. Can we build our moon lander and rocket for under 100 grand? I don't know. Let's go to the vehicle assembly building and just take a look-see. If I load in, open, the last one we did, how much did that cost? Moon 2, only 15,000 bucks? Okay. Moon 1 cost 17,000? We should be able to build a lander for well under 100 if those last two only cost 15 and 17. Just trying to get an idea of the crafts. And I can actually go back and look at one of my old crafts. If I go to the kittlegotgame file, do I got any moon landers in here? How about this file? Moon lander, 3-man, 47 parts, cost 50 grand. Now, relay number 15 cost me 146,000, but that's a 3-part relay satellite. That's real expensive. So those are expensive. We're not ready to do that yet. Eve mission cost 212,000. Holy crap. This one has 27 crafts saved in it. Let's see what this is. Duna lander was 194,000. Duna station was 250. Oh, those got real expensive. Yeah, the relay Minimus lander cost me 143 grand. The moon lander cost 140 grand. 110 parts and 9 stages. What the heck was I doing? But that was like a higher end moon lander that I did, I guess. Moon lander 1 was only 15 grand. I think I can build a cheap enough moon lander. I think I can do it. Under 100 grand. I think I can do it. We'll make it work. We're going to have to. Or we'll have to borrow money, I guess. So that being said, I will upgrade my research and development right there. Down to 104,000 to play with. I guess what I could do, if I don't see I have enough money, I could just run a few other missions. And try to... I could do a tourist mission and make some money. But now that we got 292 science, what do we unlock to do the moon landing? Do we need any of this stuff? Basic science? I don't know. Do we need general construction? Struts? I want struts. I gotta have that. Research it. Yes. Do we need aviation? Probably not. Do we need flight control? Probably not. Do I want heavy rocketry? Absolutely. Absolutely. Right? Yeah, I think we want heavy rocketry. I don't know if I can afford it yet. Hold on. Advanced construction. We gotta, like, look at the moon landing stuff. I don't know if we can do a moon landing yet. We need so many different parts that are locked still. I don't think we have enough science to unlock it. What's my credit score on the game? Oh, we have 247 science right now. And our reputation looks to be about 15. But we got 104,000 bucks. How much credit could I get, like, though, if I needed to get some cash? I don't know about that. The spark engine. This might be good. That's good for, like, a little probe, though. We're not building probes yet. We don't need that. Heavy rocketry. Do we need this? We'd like it, but do we need it? We don't need it. Fuel systems. This would be good to make a better rocket. A more efficient rocket. That would be good. That would cost me 90. Advanced construction. Do I need any of this? I really don't need any of that. This one, aerodynamics. I don't need any of that. Landing. I need this. I need landing struts. Do I have any landing struts or landing legs at all? I don't think I do. Can I go to search? Let's go landing. How does the search work? Oh, it lights all this stuff up. Okay. Oh, I do got micro landing struts for space probes or lightweight landing. So I do have landing struts that probably work for a cheap moon lander. That probably work. And then those are different lands. But to get the better ones, I would have to get probably... Probably buy this and this. So that would cost me $135. Plus 90 would be $225. I could buy one thing in this column and these two. It's a bigger parachute, launch escape, landing struts, bigger heat shield. I don't need any of this stuff. It's miniaturization. That's... Where the hell's my next landing capsule? Oh, that's over here. The command module. Oh my goodness, we're way far away from that. So we just got to build a little rink-a-dink moonlander. I think I'm going to hold off on spending this stuff until I know exactly what I need. I just got to build a cheap and dirty moonlander for one person. I can't unlock all the parts I need for like a three-person, like Crow, like Apollo-looking moonlander. I don't need the heavy rocketry. We got what it takes to get there. We got it. It would be better to have better fuel lines and stuff, though. And fuel tanks, probably. Maybe. Probably. Probably. What do I got here, though? TL... I wish it would tell me what diameter this stuff is. Like, it doesn't tell you what's like 1.5 meter or 2.5 meter diameter. Borrow money, max everything. I don't know if you can borrow money. I don't know. I don't really think. I know you can take contracts that give you an advance. That's kind of how you borrow money. But then you got to finish those contracts, or you lose a lot of points. So, like right now, for example, I can go into the mission control. I can take this mission here, ferry these 3 tourists on a trip around the moon. And actually, these ones don't give you an advance. Okay, that's weird. This one here, though, taking an observational study of these sites at these specific places, I could get a $60,000 advance by taking it. And then when I complete it, I get $106,000. So I could, if I needed 60 grand, I could just say, fine, I'll take this mission and do it later. And then maybe I'll fail it later when I have so much money and don't care, but then I lose 9 reputation points when I only have like 15 to begin with. That's not good. That's not good. So there are some things I can do that do give me advances. Not many. Nothing easy right now. Alright, shoot, let me look here real quick. What do I mean, do I have everything I need to land on the moon? Almost. Like, what little engine am I going to use? Am I going to use... I don't know if I have an engine that lands on the moon, or a good one at least. I guess I would just use... Probably this Terrier would be the way to go. This little guy here. And we got that unlocked. Yeah, so we got that. I think we got everything we need. But we got little crappy landing legs. That's the only thing. It would be so much better to have these landing struts. Let's see the difference. These take a tolerance 12 meter per second impact. The ones I have, 10 meter per second impact? That's not that much difference. I mean, the difference is 2. And we're only landing on the moon. We don't need something super. We just got to come in slow. It's got to come in slow, which hopefully we will. But hopefully we would be. So yeah, we don't have to have that. Advanced flight control. That's for docking and stuff. This is a ladder. We don't need a ladder. We got a jetpack. I really need batteries and solar panels, though. That's what we're going to need, I think. Unless this rocket here has an alternator in it, does it? I don't think this rocket here has an alternator. So, yeah, we would need I think we would need... Because this one definitely does alternator, electric charge 7 per second. This one doesn't. So if we're using this rocket, we need solar panel, or we just need to bring batteries. So we probably need to go here to basic science and buy the batteries. Something we should have. Does it come with a basic solar panel? Do I have any solar panels unlocked? Solar. Why is this lit up? Oh wow, it's way over here. We kind of need that, don't we? Nah, I think as long as it's not a super long trip, we've just gone around the moon twice without having solar and without having extra batteries. This battery alone holds a charge of 100. Our ship only held 50. So as long as we just bring a couple batteries, it should be plenty without having solar. So I think we're going to unlock this. There we go. I thought about that way too much, I think. And that being said, light control, the reaction wheel would be nice to have. Some of this stuff would be good later. We don't need those two. So I can buy 2 things in this column of 90 points. We got 202, I can spend 180. Heavy rocketry would be good. But on its own, it's not really good. I need bigger... If I got big engines, I need big fuel tanks. So I would have to buy fuel and rocket together for that to make sense. That would actually be really good to do that. Advanced construction, none of that is needed. Aerodynamics, no. Landing would be great, but I can't unlock that unless I unlock the lower tier. So I'd only be able to get that, and not 2 things then. That would be good. Don't need it, though. Don't need it. Advanced flight control, don't need. Space exploration, don't need any of that. Miniaturization, don't need any of that. Electrics, this would be great. This would be great to get. So really, I want electrics, heavy rocketry, and fuel. I can't get all 3, I can only get 2. So I'm gonna get the rockets and the fuel. More power. Alright, we're broke now. 22 science, that's it. The problem is I just spent a bunch of money. These heavy rockets and stuff cost a lot more money too. So are we even gonna use them? Probably not. But now we have the choice. Yeah, these engines. That mainsail engine is great though. Is that what I unlocked? No, the mainsail's next level. Damn. Okay. We're good. So next time we're gonna try moon landing, I think. Moon landing. Let me know if you've enjoyed Kerbal Space Program. Maybe we'll play it some more. Or if not, then we won't. I don't know. Cool? Go to the tracking station here. Yeah, next time we will go to the moon. We'll try a moon landing. That's what the contract tells me to do. It's actually much easier to land on Minmus. Maybe we'll do that. Although, the contract doesn't tell me to do that. It's so much easier to land on Minmus than the moon. Because it's got way less gravity. It's a lot further away, but that's fine. Now, we're going to do what the contract tells me. We'll try to do it in order. Could go to Minmus, get a ton of science, come back, buy a bunch of stuff. We'll think about that. We'll think about that. Need more cash? We can work on that, too. We can work on that, too. I mean, if I want more cash, what I could do is just take that ship that I just used, the Moonlander. What did I just use? Current game, my Moonlander number 2 here. Load it in. I could take this ship that we just used to go in orbit around the moon. We had tons of extra fuel. I bet I could get this to orbit Minmus, or to just do a flyby and come home. And by traveling out there and becoming the first time doing a flyby, you get some bonus money for doing things for the first time. We'd probably get at least 100 grand just by going to flyby, even without a contract telling me to do it. So there are ways we can make some money if we need it. We'll think about it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night. And let's get out of here, right? How do you get out of here? Save game. Save, I guess. Quit to main menu. I like them apples. And there we go. Yeah, let me know if you guys want me to play more computer games. I like playing on PlayStation mostly. But I got a bunch of computer games we could play. I don't know. You can see them here. Bunch of stuff. I know Marmello wants me to play Civ 6. When was the last time I played that? March 2021? And somebody asked me, when's the last time they updated Kerbal Space Program? Small patch in 2023. So it's been a few years since they've been updating it. They then went to go work on Kerbal Space Program 2 and scammed a bunch of people out of a bunch of money. Unfortunately. It was in pre-release, lots of promises, paid full price, $50 or $60, whatever I paid for it. And then all of a sudden, the company got bought out and they mothballed the game, never finished it, never gave anybody any of their money back. And, yeah. I've read something online, though, that people even right now or try to get refund, or I only played 7 hours of it. I could probably try to get a refund, and maybe I should. Maybe I should try. Even though the rule is on Steam, if you've played less than 2 hours, they almost always give you your refund for whatever reason. I've played 7 hours, and it's been a few years since I bought it. But I bought it with the promise that they would finish it. I read something on some forum that people, if you say certain things and there's you can get your money back still. Maybe I should. I'll think about it. If Ted was watching, we could play kindergarten. Gringo likes Papers, Please. Played that. We only got 7 hours in that game. 10-year anniversary they had a couple years ago. Jeez. Roseanne wanted me to play Roller Coaster Tycoon again. I should play this. I like this game. All right. We'll figure it out. Thanks again, everybody. See you on the next one.